Ladies and gentlemen, introducing No Objective Gaming with Aaron and Jordan. Bring it on! Turn that shit up!
Welcome to another episode of No Objective Gaming. This is episode 48, and we have the Bearded Buffalo live man with us.
He's live.
He's here. He's live.
The Bearded Buffalo live
and with us.
is here live.
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, and we're going to be talking about Star Wars. What is it? The Last Jedi today.
What do you mean, what is it?
Yeah, what is it? Which one is it?
It's only been announced for a year, the name of the movie, and you couldn't even get that
Yeah,
right.
what's that
one
one?
is it?
Which one is it? They're coming
Which
out every
one is
year.
it?
It's our anniversary, Christmas. You probably see our hats
heartbreaking.
as well. We've got pretty
Yeah,
Christmas
yeah,
hats on.
Now can you see our hats?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, look at you guys in t-shirts and sleeveless.
This is what I mean. You make fun of me for wearing shorts. I'm like, this is
Singlets.
this is Australia, mate.
Australia.
Dude, I got 2 shirts on, sweatpants, long socks, slippers, and I'm still freezing. I'm inside.
Whoa.
Crazy.
It must be. Though you said it was. So you spoke to us earlier. You said it was 20 degrees Fahrenheit in
Yeah, so it's
Minnesota,
private.
where you are, Minnesota,
Yeah, Wisconsin, same thing.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's cold, man. It's cold. It's gonna get down to 10 tonight, probably.
Far out. That's incredible.
Woo.
Oh,
Damn.
damn, son.
Well.
That's why I got this face sweater.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. You got to get that shit happening. Look at how delicious and thick that is.
And we're just sweating so bad in here. We're just so hot.
Is there anyone? Is there anyone like that we are associated with that doesn't have like full streamers that we're associated with that doesn't have like full beards?
Hey, we got Scuba Edge.
Scuba, yeah,
He's
gets
a
his
bit of a
shaved
smooth
off.
guy. Yeah.
But there's also like Troy. Troy's got a bit of a sweet short beard.
Yeah, he does.
He's
He's
going
Moo
well.
Cow Chicken. He
Moo-
plays.
Yeah,
He's
always
another
on.
Aussie guy from, where is he? Cabo? No.
Nah, he's from Cabo. But he lives in Tasmania.
Cabo's
That's
like
not
the
even
hood.
Who's gotta
not even technically part of
who's gotta
Australia.
get that thing going?
Yeah, he does.
Oh, you
Yeah.
can see he would grow a good beard.
Oh, did you just go?
You must have disconnected your mic.
Yeah, I think you just disconnected your mic.
There we go. Look,
Yeah,
there you can plug it back in.
Yeah. It's all good. We got you back. Oh, no. No. It's
Oh,
all good.
no.
No. It's all good. We got you. We got you. But anyway, we're going to be talking about Star Wars this week. And well, I only just saw it the other day. Oh, you can hear us. Yeah, but anyway. I only
You got
just
me-
saw
you got
it.
me now?
Yeah, we got you now.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm not going to tell you how I felt about the movie, but
But
yeah.
well, not until now.
not until we start talking about it later. But
So we've got Emily and
Frey.
and Fraser and Danielle in the
yeah,
chat. What's up?
Jordan's hat does look busy.
It's a Christmas tree hat. It's awesome. Yeah. So what have you been streaming and playing this week, Buff?
Oh, well, you know me. I'm constantly streaming PUBG. I mean, that's my addiction right now. If there was PUBG Anonymous, I would be member number 1. So I've been playing that.
Yeah. How many hours you got on Steam? Tell us your record of hours on Steam at the moment.
800.
Oh,
wow,
holy shit!
that's huge. That's crazy.
I really like that, right? Because it was a $30 game, and now I've gotten 800 hours
Oh,
of
like,
pure
you-
enjoyment out of
Yeah,
it. I'm talking
yeah.
about,
You've got your money's worth and then some.
yeah.
You owe them
Yeah.
more money.
Yeah, I'm sending him a big check for Christmas.
Yeah, sure.
That'd be sweet.
Been playing some NHL 18. That's been a popular game on my channel, so I've been trying to play a little more of it. And then I just saw a tweet that the 3.0 version of Star Citizen just came out. So
Oh, so you can jump back on that.
everybody, yeah. So we'll jump back out to that and see what that's like. Now, instead of just flying in space and having a couple of space stations, we can land on a planet or two. And they were saying that game, right, has like, I'm estimating like 1.2 million backers, right? And
Holy
they've now
crap.
set this thing up where you can make land claims. And if every single backer, just to talk about the size of the game, what they're shooting for, if every single backer claimed a piece of land on one planet, there'd still be room left for more people to claim land on that one planet.
Whoa.
Holy crap.
That's just
The
one
game
planet.
itself is going to be massive. Yeah. And the idea is there's going to be multiple solar systems when it's all done. So
Cool.
they've got a big vision. I'm looking forward to it. And it's a nice tie-in because Mark Hamill
did you
plays
back
a
it?
character in it. Yeah, I did back it.
Yeah, Mark
I think
Hamill's
I've given
in it.
them about $200. Yeah, he's in like their Squadron 42 campaign mode.
Is that like
thing.
a Last Starfighter? Is he in Last
Yeah.
Starfighter? Is he? Is it Last Starfighter or he's in some other?
It's called Squadron 42.
No,
is
no.
the
I
name
mean,
of this.
he's in a movie. I'm pretty sure.
It might be Last Starfighter.
I'm gonna look it up. We'll keep talking.
You gonna do
RJ
it?
Pizza's here. How you going, buddy?
Hey, what's up? Where's the eggnog, brother? I got water instead in a big ass stein, man.
Stein.
Yeah.
I'll be a Stein.
I didn't have any.
I mean, that's about all I've been playing. I've been wanting to play some other games, but
you're just too hooked on.
it's just hard to find time, man. And PUBG, yeah, it's just dominating. I did play some KOTOR actually the other night.
Yeah, that was cool. I was there for that. And I put on, what is it, Discord. I'm like, everyone, jump on.
Yeah, I saw
He's
that.
playing. And
I
why
saw
weren't you
that.
there? You're too busy at work, were you, Jordan?
What?
Okay.
What?
What? What are you talking about, man?
I played-
Yeah.
I'm
So
busy
here's-
at work.
Yeah. Are you busy at work ever, Jordan?
Fuck no, man.
He works for the government, man.
Dude,
What's that?
I jump into Buffalo's stream and I'm like, "Hey, man, not
Yeah.
doing anything. What are you up to?" And he's like, "Hey, man."
Yeah, I do the same. Yeah, what are we talking about? We're just talking about what games we played this week. I played a bit of Dark Souls, man. My week was full on hectic, man. So we did that 24-hour stream on Sunday, which was fantastic. RJ Pizza was there for a lot of it. And it was crazy, man. Like, I had all my gear downstairs at the house, like every single thing from my office downstairs, and I just didn't want to set it back up again. So I didn't stream Monday or Tuesday because I just went, nah, I can't be bothered moving all my computer. Cables galore, man, because we had the 2 monitors, a TV, the Elgatos, we had 4 consoles set up. We had the lot, man, all hooked in together. And so I finally set it up Tuesday night, streamed Wednesday. Thursday woke up, went to stream. Internet was down, so I went, cool. Thursday night, went and saw Star Wars, got home way too late and slept through my alarm. So I didn't stream Friday, and now we're here. And now it's Saturday here in Australia, so far out. My week has been nothing, and all I played was Dark Souls
Fair enough.
and Bloodborne on the 24-hour stream.
That's right, yeah.
And getting over it. That game sucks.
And
That getting over it was... Oh, that's right. And Dream Daddy.
Daddy.
Where is getting over it the one where the guy's in the barrel and you're like,
Yeah.
Oh,
Swinging the
dude.
thing?
That was rough as guts, man. That
Hey,
was so hard.
I watched Funhouse do their little bit of that. They got stuck at the same part you were getting stuck at.
You can't get past that thing, man. That's crazy.
And it was so fun. Like, it was actually, and then they fucked it and fell all the way back down from a top point. And I was like, well, all right. And they just flipped their lids like you did the first time when Emily, I watched it on the stream and Emily's sitting on the chair and she's just like, oh, she just starts losing it because she sees you just completely screw that up.
Oh yeah, it's hard. It's the toughest game. And then I got past that point and got up to the wreckage place at the top, started climbing that, and then fell off there. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm never playing this game again. Yeah.
Well, I've been mashing games this week.
Yeah,
I've been
sexy hiking. That's what it's called.
sexy hiking. It's so good.
That's what he calls it. What's his name? Todd Foddy? Whatever his name
Bennett
was.
Foddy.
Bennett Foddy.
Todd Foddy. I'm going to call you that from now on.
Todd Foddy.
Todd.
But anyway, what have you been playing this week, Jordan?
Mate,
You said you're bashing out games all week.
Slammed a bunch of games, man.
Yeah.
Slammed them back. Playing Horizon Zero Dawn, going through my new game plus. Finished Zelda on
Zelda
Monday.
Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina
You gotta-
of Time.
Yeah.
Finished that shit.
So he'd never played that Zelda game
So that's
ever.
the first tick off the game snob. Technically, I did Bioshock first, but I'd already finished that. But now I've done Zelda.
Yep.
Finished Spec Ops: The Line
Yeah.
because I got a good reference from someone to play that game.
was it good?
It's good, man. It's short though. I did it in one day. I just sat there and played it out from beginning to end. But it was all right. Like I would recommend it for its commentary on like PTSD in the armed forces and all the mental health stuff that it sort of goes through. But it should have been a bit longer, I think. But it's still a great game.
Yeah.
Give it a go. I picked it up for like $6. So
That's sweet. RJ Pizza, yeah, I did play Breath of the Wild, and we did do a review on it. So if
long
you go
time
back
ago.
through the podcast episodes, you'll find it. So
and then been playing Deus Ex Human Revolution. After I've been going through that slowly. And just this morning I picked up the director's cut because it's like $3 on Steam because of the sales at the moment.
oh, that's right, the winter sales are on.
Yeah, the director's cut has like New Game Plus and features and stuff like that, which I didn't have. So hopefully I can use my save file from my other one and play that through. But anyway,
Ooh.
and I don't know if it'll let me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a fantastic game.
Okay.
And man, what was the other? There's one, and then Super Metroid last night.
Super Metroid.
Super Metroid
On the SNES.
on the cracked open the mini SNES.
Oh, you actually used the mini
Yeah,
SNES. Oh,
yeah.
good on you. That's sick. You finally opened
The
it.
dream is dead, man. I'm not selling that thing. It's all for show now. I'm using it.
What's that? The mini SNES. What's going on?
What's
Dude.
on it? What games? You got a mini SNES?
Yeah,
What?
yeah. The mini SNES is kind of like the mini NES that came out, but yeah, it has
Yeah,
21 games on it. So it has like the Zelda, Super Metroid,
Final Fantasy 2.
yeah, Final Fantasy 2. Oh no, Final Fantasy 3, which is Final Fantasy 6.
Okay.
And then
It's sold out here.
it sold out, did it? Oh man, there's endless supplies in Australia. It's crazy.
We should get one for him and
Yeah.
send it to him.
Send you one.
We can send
I'm
you a
moving.
Christmas present. It's a difficult game, that Super Metroid, but it's fun. It's a lot more fun than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be way more frustrating. It is frustrating at some points, but for the most part, it's really good. So, and people love that game. There was a lot of people watching. I was like, where are all you when we're playing, Overwatch? And they're like, because no one cares about Overwatch.
No.
No one gives a shit. You're just some scrub. Oh yeah, and I played Overwatch too, but who gives a fuck about that? Because
And Dream Daddy, you found your Dream Daddy on
Yeah.
Saturday night.
I found my dream daddy. He was the chocolate sexual coffee shop man. I let him put it in me. It was nice.
Yeah, his dick got hard at the end.
Oh yeah, that's right. The blood rushed to it.
Horrible.
And
That game is rough, man.
and Scuba and I did Alien Isolation. Remember?
Yeah,
We
that's
that
right.
old
You did. Yeah.
Conjoint stream. He
But
did-
Scuba played the mouse and you played the keyboard.
I did the keyboard.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
I love it.
on the 24-hour stream. But yeah, so let's quickly get into what we're actually here for.
Yeah. So don't forget, you guys can follow us on Facebook at No Objective Gaming, Twitter at No Objective Game, and we're also on Instagram at No Objective Gaming, and on Twitch at No Objective Gaming AU, where you can watch this live every week and us play games nearly every day of the week. Whatever's going. I don't know. We just play a variety of games. We're not stuck on one. But yeah, and you can also check us out over at iTunes, which is No Objective Gaming. Just search for it. And don't forget to give us a review, as it helps us out a lot through the iTunes podcast network. But yeah, anyway, we're going to be talking about The Last Jedi. And first, what's the first question Jordan's got?
All right,
mate?
so let's
Jordan did some questions, and I don't even know them. He's just been sitting here typing away.
I'm not here to fuck spiders.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Okay.
let's get right into it.
Okay.
All right, so Buff, my man,
Yes.
how many times have you seen it?
One so far. I'll see it 2 more times in the next week.
Okay, yeah. So I've only seen it once too,
Yeah,
and
same.
I plan on seeing it again possibly next weekend.
I did get a second ticket last night to try and get free parking at a cinema parking when I was in the city, and
That didn't go so well.
it all went pear-shaped, and then I had to pay for the ticket and for the movie ticket that I didn't go see, so that kind of sucked.
It was a bit rough.
The parking ended up costing me $44. It's rough, yeah. It wasn't good.
So yeah, we should make sure everyone knows this is heavily spoiled. This
Yeah.
is full of spoilers.
All spoilers, so if you don't want to know what happens, just disappear and listen to this on the past broadcast or in the podcast network
Yeah.
on iTunes later on.
Full of spoilers. We can't give a real review without actually spoiling this movie. And seriously, you mentioned one thing about this movie and you've spoiled some of it.
Yeah, pretty
so,
much. And we better not forget, this is Bearded Buffalo
Agreed.
live on Twitch if anyone wants to go suss him out.
Yeah,
He plays a
please do.
lot of PUBG, and he's a
Yeah,
king, man. He's
that's right.
He's
Thank
an
you.
absolute king, yeah.
Bearded Buffalo Live, all one word.
Yep. He's also on YouTube, and what's that? Is that Bearded Buffalo on there? The Bearded Buffalo?
Yeah. That YouTube channel's at the moment dying.
Yeah, now
I'm-
our YouTube channel's a
2018
dumping
goal
ground.
to bring it back.
Oh, really?
I want to bring it back in 2018. It's just I don't know where to find the time.
Oh yeah, when
editing,
you're
man.
streaming, it's crazy. Like you just, it's so much better streaming. I don't know what it is. You get more interaction. It's just
Yeah.
a lot better of a platform, I guess.
Like
Yeah.
YouTube.
Well, I mean, like when I'm in my YouTube videos, to digress for a moment, I would play games for an hour. I was big into Madden that year, playing competitively. So I would play for an hour of Madden, which would be 2 or 3 full games.
Yeah.
And then I would take an hour to an hour and a half to edit it. And it would be 12 minutes of footage.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's editing is one of those. Oh, it's yuck.
Yeah, it's not good.
And I did everything I could to stay away from it. But anyhow,
I had to try and pull the podcast episode from that 24-hour stream, and I had to download 24 hours worth of footage, man. And that was something like 30 gig download. And then I had to try and cut the first hour out of it. It was not good. And I still haven't done it. It's just sitting there and it's like, no, I can't be bothered. Yeah.
no.
So we might be releasing 2 episodes this week, last week's and this week's. So,
last week's was a bit haywire anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone's seen it once.
Yeah.
Good. I know that Fraser's seen it, so you're not spoiling anything for him. So, all right. What did you think going in, Buff? What did you think about The Force Awakens?
I liked The Force Awakens.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought there were some characters that felt forced in, but overall, my overall Force Awakens opinion was this is good.
Okay.
It's better than the prequels.
Yep, definitely.
And,
no Jar Jar Binks.
Rivaled A New Hope, which in my opinion is the worst of the original trilogy.
Okay.
And by worst, I mean I still think it's great.
Yeah. What, like just the least strong.
It's number 3. Yeah, in my ranking there, and I thought it rivaled that. I mean, it could even take a step over it.
What do you think of The Force Awakens, Aaron?
To be honest, I kind of enjoyed it. I didn't like the cheese that was put on top, like the Marvel type cheese. It felt like a Marvel movie masked in a Star Wars. That's what it felt like with the bit of cheese over the top. But Danielle's just saying, bring back Jar Jar in chat. No, piss off.
No.
But overall, I thought it was really good. Like, it was actually a decent Star Wars film. I walked out and it was actually good. And I'm surprised my wife, Danielle, actually went, that was great.
No. The Force Awakens.
The Force Awakens. Oh, that was the first one? Okay. I don't even know these names. That's how much of a fast Star Wars fan I am.
The first of this new trilogy.
First of the new trilogy. It was a rehash of A New Hope, and I felt like I'd seen it before. And I did enjoy it. But yeah.
Okay.
Because I think it was the hype. Like, yeah, I'm not Star Wars pro nerd at all.
No.
Jordan is and Bearded Buffalo is. That's why they're on here.
That's right.
Because I don't know shit.
We've got a Bachelor of Star Wars. We both hold honors in Star Wars.
I'm just getting my diploma at the moment.
That's right, yeah. Hasn't quite finished that one yet.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed with The Force Awakens, and not in the way that like I'm salty about it. Like, I think I wish they really did a bit more with The Force Awakens. I really wish they pushed for newer stuff a bit more. Like, actually went, yeah, like, let's go and try some new stuff. It really was, and it's pretty well accepted now that it was a cut copy of the original movie to get people back in. When I think that was an underestimation of how much people would appreciate a new Star Wars movie. I think they thought, like, everyone knows, you get new directors, you get new executive producers and writers and screenwriters. You go, yep, they're gonna do a better job than George Lucas did with those prequels. But I think they just didn't try hard enough, and J.J. Abrams really didn't do enough new stuff in it. So for me, and I really liked Rogue One more than The Force Awakens, which is it's not accepted to be the better movie, like as a sort of, critically, because it's a very slow burn, Rogue One.
You saying Rogue One was a slow burn? I thought that was great.
It was a great movie, but it's very slow. Its pacing isn't great. It just has a fantastic final act. Like, the final act of that movie is unbelievable. Yeah. Like, I haven't seen, and some of the visuals on Rogue One, the Star Destroyers, look fantastic. So Emily said everything was great about The Force Awakens except the plot. Just wanted to play it safe and keep everyone happy. Yeah, I think that's true. So
I have a question for you.
Do it.
Throw them away. Go.
When you were going in to see The Force Awakens, had you already in your mind created the story you wanted to happen?
Sorry about that. We got smashed by Scuba.
Hey, subscribe again.
Thanks for the 2-month anniversary, Scuba.
You can't.
Tier 2.
Yeah.
Not messing around.
He's slinging out some money, this guy.
What was your question again, Buff?
What was?
Did you go in with the story in mind?
No.
of what you wanted to happen for
No,
the
I
Force
had
Awakens?
no idea. I was like, what? Well, I didn't even know what's going on. I'm totally open for Force Awakens.
Okay.
I didn't know what they were going to do, to be honest. I knew Han Solo was in it. I knew this. And then I was just disappointed that obviously it really went down the similar road and some things were really a bit too obviously taken from the old movies.
Yeah.
Certainly.
So-
I can agree to that.
Yeah. So and overall, like, I still think it's a good Star Wars movie. I think
Yeah.
it sets a scene for a trilogy. It does, and I can appreciate that. But as a standalone on its own, without The Last Jedi, I can't appreciate The Force Awakens the way some people do.
Yeah, see, and I went in. I guess maybe I went in with the story that I wanted to see, and they didn't do it, which was disappointing. But I think The Force Awakens had such an easy path to success in my ranking because it had been so long since we've seen one.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
We could have looked at Luke training on Octu by himself for the full 3 hours, and I'd have walked out being like, "Dang, that was good."
Yeah, I
That was
know.
good.
I know.
Ooh, baby.
There was a
Star Wars is back.
There's a
But-
few directions that, I mean, think about the infinite directions they could have taken with this new one. So we'll move straight on. Like, let's go into the new
Yep.
movie now. We know just to get everyone set the scene for how we felt going into this movie.
Yeah, that first one, I don't know.
Oh.
I think I was hyped up for the first one, and when the Star Wars track came in and the words were floating across the screen, I was like, yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna
was
let you guys
hooked.
in on a secret. I had a tear or two well up in that first one when
Yeah.
I was
Oh.
I
I
was
could,
so
I could
happy.
feel it. Yeah.
Oh.
like goosebumps,
Yeah.
sweats,
Yeah.
and a tear or two. That's how excited I was.
And I think that may
that
have,
I got to see it.
yeah, that might have contributed to me being a little bit disappointed because had I worked myself up for that movie.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then for it to really hit the same beats as A New Hope, and I'm like, man, I've seen this movie before,
You've done it. Yeah, it was kind of like you had seen it, hasn't it?
and that's okay. But I think
That's
I think connecting these two movies now, though, I really want to know. So I spoke to Aaron earlier this week, and he said that he'd spoken to you, Buff, that the story, the direction of the story was where you had a few issues, and I want to and I want you to go into how you felt about this, The Last Jedi, and what it's sort of done, where they've gone with the story, because it's pretty clear what they're doing and what they've decided is the new sort of Star Wars, really. So give us your feelings on this.
Well, I mean, as the week's gone on since I saw it, it's been a week now. I left the theater disappointed. But I've grown to, as I've thought more and more about what could be in 9, I've grown to appreciate this film and actually liked it. But as far as the direction of the story, and for me specifically the story of Luke, who if you read any of the books, did fail at a Jedi Academy, but like came back still. And
Do you mean
continued
the
to
Legends
push on
stuff?
forward?
Do you mean the Legends
Yeah,
stuff?
and the Legends.
Oh, yeah.
The Legends books.
Him
right?
in the
I've read-
Legends is amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, he's got all of this force power, all this stuff going on, and to think that he could be dead, it's just so disappointing. Like there was no lightsaber battle, no legit one anyway. I didn't appreciate that, and then I also there were a lot of story points that I felt were pointless, like maybe I'm getting too far ahead of our conversation here.
Nah, mate,
but
you're right.
like that long drag out chase in the ships with Holdo and Poe. Like why did she not tell him what the plan was? Number one. Number two,
Yeah.
why did they make that take so long?
Yeah, I
didn't
was
like
thinking
that.
the same thing.
Leia's force ability to survive space seemed
Just
really
throwing out
dumb.
there. Yeah, I didn't like the flying scene through there. I was just like, what is going on? Yeah.
I definitely know that I can't defend some of the strange added stuff that maybe in a director's cut maybe would be like.
Well,
better to
apparently
have.
I heard that they did cut half an hour from this film.
They probably did.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a long movie, and you can tell when long
Yeah.
movies are long. It's just like there's probably a lot more to this because they always cut. So it'd be interesting to see what they did remove. But I think so. Leia's stuff, right? I do know that there's some books I've read where the Force can be used to help you survive in space or shut down bodily systems. I think it's taken from like old Buddhist stuff. People talk about this, and so it help you and not breathe for a long period of time.
But her eyes will be sucked out of her head. Yeah.
well, it's hard to say because this is a fantasy or science fiction universe, right?
Fair
with
enough.
With a magical ability, right? So, and I'm saying like this stuff isn't unheard of in the books I've read. So, but that's not doesn't mean that to everyone else who sees Leia floating through space and pulling herself back into the bridge, you're like that doesn't come across as a bit like, oh. We're not, you and me, Buff, we're not we're kind of outliers in that we live and breathe all that old shit. So
yes, there's not many of us.
No. And that means that everyone else sees that and they go, oh, that was a bit strange. Especially, so someone like Scuba. Scuba's a great example because he likes Star Wars, he likes the movies, but that's about it. He's like, all right, I'll just watch the movies. And he sees that and he goes, what the hell was that about?
And like Scuba did just say in chat, he's like, yeah, I'm fine with her having force powers, but that looked like shit and was done crap.
Okay. And I don't have an argument against that. I'm like, it may have looked a bit strange and it was a bit jarring. Afterwards, in hindsight, I explain those things away to myself, but I don't look at it as like a movie and I go, oh, so how does that appeal to other people? I'm still just looking at it from my perspective, going, I as long as she's not dead.
Now, I thought that was a good point to kill her off.
I think that would have been too ham-fisted to kill her off in that moment.
Okay.
Too deliberate. She needed to die. She, like most of these major characters, there's a room here for them to die in really plot-turning moments, and that was not, because it was just them flying TIE fighters and then shooting friggin' torpedoes into the bridge. And that annoyed me enough as it is, because I'm like, those freaking Mon Calamari ships have massive. That ship, it even says in the book, it has massive shield generators, shield generators, and that's the torpedoes still go into the bridge and kill Admiral Akbar and all his bloody mates. And you're like, that's annoying because it kind of breaks a few bits of canon there. So I don't know how you guys feel about that, but just that frustrated me a bit.
Doesn't it at this point break a few bits of legend?
What do you mean?
Is he talking about Luke?
Are those massive shield generators canon?
Yeah, they are, because I picked up the visual dictionary. Well, Emily picked it up for us.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Ooh. And I read about the ship, the Raddus. And it's also, fun fact, the Raddus, you probably already know this, is the guy from Rogue One. Admiral Raddus, and it was the Mon Cal from Rogue One, and I was like, oh, I love that they connected those. It made me so happy. I was like, oh god, I love when they link two easy things together, and even says in the book, it's like, oh, Admiral Akbar and Admiral Raddus didn't see eye to eye because Admiral Raddus was much more like gung ho and forceful. He's like, but he soon learned to appreciate him over time. And I'm like, oh, it's so nice. And like, because he obviously gets absolutely owned.
I love this because I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
He's the guy who
he looked like him. Yeah. I remember we talked about him on the Rogue One review, our first episode. But it's cool to see all this, and you guys are loving it, man. Just soaking up the Star Wars. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's quality.
Yeah. So good.
So yeah, they are, and that's why they could survive all the bombardment. It says in the book, it's like they could survive the bombardment because they had so much. The shields on the Mon Cal ships are so good, and so they are canon. But yeah.
So yeah, you're right. That is a little bit of a hole. And then I guess my last point, which has wildly changed since I left the theater. I left the theater really upset.
You did?
About Snoke.
Oh, okay. About him dying and the way he died? He wasn't much... Yeah, okay. Keep going.
Since then, I've come to believe with 100% certainty he's not dead.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where you're getting that from.
Well, tell us.
Yeah, give us your theory.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I have... It's a 3-point theory.
Yeah.
Ooh.
maybe even a fourth if we want to get into the Duarte. So
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, you got to
right, I know, I'm gonna
educate
teach you
Jordan.
guys.
Yeah, do it.
So you got your masters, yeah.
So when Luke projected himself
Yep.
to Crate, right, he projected himself as a younger version of himself. Right?
Yes,
He
yeah.
looked younger.
It was
If we
him from when he
compare-
was training Kylo. Yeah.
Yeah. So if we compare the Snoke that we saw in this movie to the Snoke we saw in The Force Awakens, he looks much younger. It's point number one.
Yeah, and he does. That is a hollow projection in The Force Awakens.
Yes.
But it is. Yeah, he could be. Yes, and if he is as powerful as they say he is, he could be affecting Rey in that situation, and he'd have to be very good at making it visually look like he did get chopped in half.
Yep. That would be difficult as well.
Yeah.
But we saw him force choke General Hux through a hologram. We've never seen that before.
Yeah, we have. Vader does it to
Vader does it across ships, doesn't he?
In
Yeah.
Empire, he does it to.
Across ships. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But I don't. I
yeah,
think
we don't know where. We don't
You
know
don't know
where
how
he
far
is.
they were,
We
yeah.
don't know where he is.
Yeah, he
Right?
could be
Okay,
miles
so
away.
So that's number one. Number two is that the reason that Rey and Kylo have that bridge, that mind bridge thing where they can see each other, is because of Snoke.
Yeah, we know that. Yeah.
He put that in place, right? After Snoke is quote unquote dead, they still have the bridge. They still see each other. And if Snoke created it and he's the reason that it's been happening and he's dead, it'd be surprising that he's still alive. Okay.
Okay.
Well, Danielle did say, for someone so powerful, he was easily tricked. Yeah.
And that's
Yes.
another.
Yeah.
That is another. Okay, so I don't agree with that, but if it does happen, I'm still fine with it.
Yes.
That's fine. I think he's definitely dead, and it was purely intentional for the direction of the movie for him to go, for it not to be another movie like this Palpatine-esque overlord figure with an apprentice, because that is an old. We've seen that movie. We've seen those movies over and over again.
This whole movie kind of
I don't
pushed.
think he's
Yeah.
I don't think he's a Sith.
You don't
No,
think he's
I
Sith,
don't mean that. I just mean like in terms of a movie, right? So
Yeah,
that's
I hear you.
That's the figurehead of the overarching bad guy, right? And
Yep.
and so Kylo Ren playing the Darth Vader figurehead,
Yeah.
and Snoke playing the Palpatine figurehead. They're trying to disrupt that style that we have in our minds that we should expect from that original trilogy. And now we don't have that because he's killed him, and they're taking it down a different direction where you've got this deranged, crazy person in Kylo Ren who's leading these forces, and he can't control his emotions. He's so pissed off all the time. That's the direction they want to take, like this just pure anger, dark Jedi, and
It's like
moving away from the Sith,
young
yeah.
Anakin when he is pissed off.
Fuck, don't
kind of
even
thing.
mention that. Don't even talk about Anakin.
So my third point, I guess, or
Yeah.
my third thought here is I would be frustrated that they've created all of this backstory for Snoke to have him have 10 minutes of screen time.
What was the backstory they
As-
created?
Right? So we know he's some powerful being that's seen empires rise and fall. We
Mhm.
also know in that visual dictionary that you likely have, there's a picture of his ring. And that ring
Ooh, I haven't
has
seen.
two very important pieces.
I like
The
this.
top part is basically a black diamond. It's obsidian from the catacombs beneath Darth Vader's castle on Mustafar. Okay?
Ah.
That piece is significant. One, because there could be some roundabout connection to Vader, because we know that Palpatine sent Vader to Mustafar because there was a deep Sith power on that planet. The Force was strong there. And the code name for episode 9 is called Black Diamond.
Okay.
Wow, that's some deep stuff, man.
Man.
I'm liking it.
All right.
I'm liking
So
it.
who brought down the two towers?
So
It's not George Bush. Bush did 9/11.
No.
I love this.
Bush did.
I love this because it's so like I don't think like this. I generally take most of the stuff at face value. I'm not trying to connect the dots, and I like that. I
love that you have. That's
I like
unreal.
that you have because I'm just like I'll just go, yeah, it's fine. It's fine that that's the case, but I also think I haven't looked at all over this visual dictionary. I've looked all through it. I haven't read every single bit.
You looked at the pictures.
But I haven't seen that yet. So I'm going to go home and look at that.
He's going to find that ring.
I'm going to look at this ring.
The other piece.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go. Ahead. It's all you, man.
All right. So the other piece is on that ring, there is some engravings or some etchings, and they are glyphs of the Duarte.
Okay. What's this?
Yeah. So the Duarte were basically 4 sages. They were philosophers way before the Galactic Republic was formed. And they had very attuned wisdom and legal acumen. And so they helped create the constitution of the Galactic Republic.
This
they
is
were
some
very
Lord of the Rings stuff right now.
Yeah, they were very influential in that constitution. However, 2 of them, well, one of them, Sistros, was pandering to the multitude for selfish ends, and Brata was encouraging the study of the dark side of the Force.
Okay.
Now, this in and of itself doesn't mean much, but if we look at Palpatine's office, there are a couple of statues, about 4 statues, but probably more, but we see 2 statues by his desk, one of Sistros and one of Brata are both there. And then right next to the door, there is a statue of Sistros. Now, these are all made of like bronzium, but there is some other little hollow cylinder in that statue of Sistros that prevents people from scanning inside of it, and that's where he kept his lightsaber. And so I hope that Snoke is not one of these 4 Duarte, but I think that there could be a connection there between Snoke, Palpatine, Vader, all mixed into that 9th movie, because they've told us now 9 is going to tie all of the trilogies, not trilogy, all of the movies together. There's going to be connections across all of them. So I think that the Duarte may have something in there. It may have nothing at all to do with it. It may just be a ring. But the fact that in that dictionary they zoom in on this thing and they call it out specifically seems like some sort of a hint, a clue, a point. They made a point to point it out, I guess.
I think
That's cool.
I think this would be awesome.
Yeah.
Right? However, how do you put that in a movie and sell that to all the different types of Star Wars fans that exist?
Agreed.
That's the issue. Like, see, you and I, we'd be like, oh, that's so cool.
Coolest thing ever.
That's the coolest thing I've ever heard. You know, I want to learn more. Give me a book about it. But everyone else goes, what? Everyone else goes, ugh. Like, that's too complicated for me to understand because I'm an idiot. And instead, we get really sort of, I guess, obvious type things, and it's not, there's no real backstory. And I think that's a hangover from how much work the community did in the expanded universe. And when they ditched it all, they sort of, maybe there's an intention there to say, we're not really going to do this again. We're not going to go to this level of depth. We're going to focus on movies. So I don't know. I think I would like that, but I find it unlikely. But it would be so cool. So I don't know. It's tough, and I think that the direction they're going, it seems like they're going is different to that. It seems like it's going to be much more face value stuff. Like you just I want both. I want like the same sort of really obvious stuff that's in those movies, and then the other stuff that's like background shit, but it's all connected. I don't know if we're gonna get it.
I don't know. I hope Ryan Johnson does do something cool with the new trilogy he's been given. So that'd be pretty cool.
I told you the other day what that trilogy should be. We
you
walked
were.
through
We're
that
talking
story.
about it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, what do you think it should be?
Well, can we
Keep going on with this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. So where the direction I hope they go with 9 is that we find out Snoke's alive, right?
Yep.
And he's a Bendu, which is like the middle of the line, guys. No light, no dark. He is in the middle. We saw a Bendu in Star Wars Rebels. It was like that big beast on the planet. I hope that that's kind of where he lies, is in the middle, and doesn't care if you're Jedi, doesn't care if you're Sith. He just wants to rule.
Okay.
That's
Rey
cool.
is our Jedi, and Kylo is our Sith.
Yeah, Sith equivalent.
Yeah.
Sith equivalent. Fair point.
Yeah.
And so we still get away from Snoke equals Palpatine, Kylo equals Vader, Rey equals Luke.
Yeah.
But now we've got a 3-side type thing where maybe Kylo and Rey team up for a minute to get rid of Snoke, or Snoke, I don't know, does something else. But I think that Snoke is a force projection, like Luke was a force projection
Yeah.
on.
Do you
Rey.
think out of curiosity, do you think they've already written the full story?
No.
No. Yeah, you reckon they're going one movie at a time? It
Well,
seems
just
like
like
they did.
the
I
old
do
ones.
reckon that.
Apparently they did
Because
that.
Oh yeah, the old ones
Yeah.
were, but the old ones were done that way because there was never an intention for the Empire Strikes Back to exist.
Okay.
And then
Because everyone thought it was going to suck.
yeah, and then Star
Nobody
Wars.
thought that New Hope was going to be good.
No.
Right.
And then it was amazing. And then I think after they did Empire, it was
they
I
started
think-
doing story.
Yeah, I think they still didn't really want to do Return of the Jedi. Lucas was really weird about it. They had to drag stuff out of him, and he's just a frustrating person. And then he comes around and he wants to do the prequels, and they're shit. So you got to get him to not want to do something for it to be good.
Well, it's good that it's all gone now, and
Yeah.
other people can write.
So overall, I reckon. So the story is basically like, we can just run through it. They're getting off the planet. They're getting off and they're getting chased. And there's a big dreadnought there. That thing was fucking cool.
Yeah,
Yes, it was.
Oh my god, I was like, that is badass.
Awesome.
that scene,
Yes.
I didn't like the cheese at the beginning where he's like pretending he can't hear him. I didn't like that. That was a bit of a bad joke at the
I
beginning.
think you're not ready for a joke that early.
Yeah, where Poe's just like,
No,
oh, can I hear you?
agree.
Can I'm looking for this guy. And you're like, no, I don't want to hear this at the
He is-
beginning of the movie. Yeah.
He's
That was
the
a
Han Solo.
Disney moment.
Yeah.
That was a Disney moment for me.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I tend
Or
to,
a Han Solo Phil.
yeah, I probably agree with that. I wasn't ready for it. I don't know. I like it in hindsight as one, but at the time I think I remember being like, oh, is this where we're going with this? You know, like we're going to be funny. Like Star Wars has, like Empire Strikes Back has some of the funniest and greatest, like really well comedically timed lines between C-3PO and Han Solo. It's just so good the whole time.
Yes.
And I think this one, they tried, and some of it was good. Some of the humor was funny, but for the most part, I was kind of like, ooh, didn't really land, and it was just a bit forced sometimes. I liked his attack on the dreadnought. I thought that was pretty cool. And the message there that was interesting was about like that there are people who know what's going on, and Poe's very reckless.
Yeah.
In going after the dreadnought. And to say possibly that he really caused some damage, even though he thinks he did really good, he's really done some real damage to the resistance by deciding to throw all those bombers at a dreadnought just to destroy it.
Right. And lose that many pilots and
Yeah, that was huge.
whoever else.
Exactly.
When you lose 20 and you're made up of 150, I suppose.
Exactly. You know, and you lose one dreadnought and there's probably more. So I thought that was really cool. It was a great opening to a movie. It was excitement from the get-go, which
Yeah.
I liked. Something that they've struggled with for a while with some of these movies. And you know, I think I like that it took off just after Force Awakens. Just straight away. the planet scene with Luke and Ray. It's a bit strange. The Luke and Ray planet stuff. Sometimes I was like,
yeah. You're just like, oh no, I don't want to deal with it, man. Yeah.
It didn't really get interesting until it was almost over.
It was like a montage of what he's been doing with his life, with just being alone on a planet. Yeah.
I hated that we had this super monumental moment where she's handing him his lightsaber.
And chucks it over the shoulder.
And he just tosses it over his shoulder and moves on. And they made a joke out of it.
Yeah.
We've been hanging on to that moment for 2 years, waiting to hear what he's going to do. And then that's what they did with it. And I'm just so disappointed with the Luke that they've created. And I know that
this is
I know Mark Hamill's ticked too. But
he didn't like
I
the
have
writing.
to do it because this is what I have to be for the story. But
I think
that's not the Luke Skywalker like Jordan and I know from reading the books. And
I feel like it's a Kojima thing.
Just was so frustrating.
Like from Metal Gear Solid 1 to 2.
I thought that it was going to be like, which maybe would have been a negative, but I was waiting for that moment to happen, like when Luke went to Dagobah, where Yoda was goofing around with him, right? He's goofing off, and then he gets serious. And I was waiting for that moment for him to get serious and to start actually training him, but for a while just playing jokes with him.
And this is why. So a lot of the theme of what you're saying comes back to what I think they're going to try and stay away from, and that is drawing from their old movies so much.
Right.
Like in that we're saying, this Snoke's Palpatine and Rey's Luke and Kylo's Darth Vader and Luke is Yoda or Obi-Wan and Rey is Luke and all this stuff. I think they're going, no. We can't do this anymore.
They don't want to rehash.
We've done this before. We need to do it in a shocking way, and it will be jarring. And I think in time you come to appreciate it. And it's funny because you said now you have a bit more of a different appreciation for it. Afterwards, I was so all up in the air about the overall story that I was happy because I was like, I didn't expect any of this. And I was okay with that. I didn't want it to be the same. We could spend so much time on this. Oh my God, we're just mulling through it.
It's good, man. But I feel like that whole part was kind of like how Kojima told Metal Gear Solid 2 from Metal Gear Solid 1 and how he chucked Raiden right in there and just jammed it in everyone's face.
It's not like that though.
He didn't care. Like, I know.
It's definitely not like that. It's meant to be. It is you know what? It is a bit of that. I lied. I reckon it's definitely a bit of. I know everyone's been wondering, and then
here you go. He's been milking this alien.
But they give you very, very quickly the idea of this is why, this is what you should expect from these movies from now on.
I just love the Star Wars-ness, RJ Pizza.
Yeah.
I'm not this much of a Star Wars fan. I just love hearing it. It's unreal.
I liked one thing. So they after Arcto, I think that. Emily, Jordan in that hat getting all deep about Star Wars. Yeah, I can't take me seriously. I got this fucking shitty green hat on. I really liked Arcto, the planet. I liked that those little creatures have been maintaining the Force, the Jedi, the original Jedi texts and temples for years. I like that. Was cool.
The will.
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess, again, like again like stuff in Yoda coming back to destroy it, that made me a bit sad. But I think that's, again... Sorry?
The wills, those books are not gone. Ray took them.
Yeah, she did. Didn't you see that at the end? The little shot where she has the books.
No.
Yeah, so there's a little tight little shot where she has the books and she took them. Yeah, so he just burnt the tree.
When what's-his-face, Finn... is pulling the blanket to put over somebody or something like that. He pulls open a drawer and it was Rose. Yeah, thank you. And they're in there. And I hope we do a 8.1 movie and it's just Rey sitting on a chair.
Shadows of the Empire, my man. Shadows of the Empire.
Every page of it. I don't care if that's it. It can just be nothing but that. I want to know what's in the Journal of the Wills.
Yeah.
So
Shadows of the Empire was the gap between Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back that we all needed.
Yeah.
And if you're a Star Wars fan, you don't read that. Even now that it's not canon, it's amazing. It's one of the best Star Wars books ever written, and it will blow you away about what they did and how they filled those gaps. And like Prince Caesar and all the hunting for trying to figure out a way to rescue Han. Oh my god!
Yeah.
And Luke figuring out how to be a Jedi, putting his lightsaber together.
Let's not breeze over Yoda calling down lightning to set that tree on fire.
Yeah, that's a bit of an odd
Yeah.
thing.
So that's big for a couple of reasons. One, I'm not going to remember the name right now, but that tree is powerful, strong in the Force. There was a tree like that in the Old Republic, in the Clone War cartoon as well, near the temple, near the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. And I think there are multiple trees like that grow on a particular planet, and they get the seedlings, and the Jedi bring them where they want to be.
Wow.
Okay. As we think about that wood, I forget the name of the dude in Rogue One that had the wood staff, but I'm pretty sure that wood staff was made of that particular wood, and that helped him be so strong in the Force, or allowed the Force to help
How
him.
could you forget Chirrut Imwe?
Thank you. Yeah, I know.
Chirrut.
So easy to
Chirrut!
cheer it, Dimly.
Chirrut! I love Chirrut
I'm one with the
Imwe.
Force, the Force is with
He's
me.
so good.
He did a great job in that film.
Yeah, Donnie Yen, man.
He was
Holy
great.
crap.
Yes.
Um,
But secondly,
yeah.
that we've never seen a Force Ghost do something like that.
Hmm.
We've seen them speak,
Yeah, not hit someone on the head with a stick.
or
Like that's what Yoda did. He smacked him on the stick. Luke was like, kind of wake up,
or
buddy.
call-
Yeah.
or call down lightning from the sky. Right? I don't think we've ever, and I could be wrong, but I don't think we've ever seen or read about a Force Ghost calling something into to be real in the real world. And so I wonder if that's going to lead us to allow Luke to still have a story, even if he is gone.
Yeah, fair enough.
I believe he will still play a part in these movies. I know that they're obviously slowly writing him out because that's what they do. But
He's old, mate. He's got to go.
I didn't. I liked Yoda's appearance. I didn't necessarily like.
It was cool that the puppeteer came back to do Yoda.
And
That
it
was
was
awesome.
and it was
Yeah,
Empire.
right.
It was Empire Yoda.
Yeah.
It was silly. Nothing matters. Nothing
Yes.
matters but the Force. The Jedi counts. The Jedi Order doesn't matter. The Force is what matters, and that's
Yeah.
Yoda's teaching from. You know what? Like even in the Phantom Menace, he has those moments where he's just talking about the Force. Force flows through everything. And this whole fixation on the Jedi Order is what he's against, and it's really cool that he comes back and he sort of makes
vain.
he makes it fun of it, and he's a bit of a character, and it was fantastic. I like that. I don't necessarily like. I don't know about the lightning coming down to strike it. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it,
But maybe Luke would have known the books were gone if he went in to light it up. Maybe Yoda was protecting.
yeah,
the
I don't
book
know
still.
if
Who
they
knows?
picked a side on
Yeah.
that one, but I think either way, I'm surprised. I didn't even know that they were there, and that's so cool that she's got them. So I would like, and to be honest, wouldn't it be cool if she does a Luke and she starts training Jedi? If she turns into like, all right, I'm going not to make the Jedi Order, but I'm going to revive the Jedi and the Force, like the light side.
The peacekeepers.
That's right. That would be awesome. And I don't
And
care.
I think, go ahead.
No, you go, man. Yeah.
I think that last scene where that's that like stall worker kid, the sweeper kid,
Oh,
using
yeah.
the Force to grab that broom. I think that's an homage to
Yeah.
that they're out there.
That's right.
And maybe that's going to be a thing for Rey.
Absolutely. That's where and that's why I'm saying I think the direction they're taking is a new, like a new Jedi
Well,
Order.
yeah, and they're going away
I
from
love
the
it.
Skywalker blood. You know,
That's
like these,
right.
they're all nobodies that are that
Because
have got
in
Force
the
powers.
lore, they absolutely are nobodies, right? But
Yeah.
the movies and things generally focus on the Skywalkers. But in the books, they draw younglings from all over the galaxy, and they just find Force-sensitive children.
And they take them.
Yeah.
They just
kidnap them.
sounds like the Halo story. If you read the books for that, they do that. They make a clone of the human, of that
I don't-
superhuman, and then nick him.
Let's circle back to this point. But I don't think we're getting away. We may not be getting away from the Skywalker bloodline.
Yeah.
Well,
all right. We'll go to our theories.
We've got Ben Solo
Two
still there,
forms.
so yeah.
But first, that's right. But before we leave Octu,
Yep.
there's that little circular puddle
Yeah, the black hole thing.
with
Yep.
no.
Oh, not the.
There's that little puddle that has an image under it that's often hard to look at, hard to see what it is.
Okay, I can't remember.
When you see it again, look for a little puddle, and it's got it's a circle.
Yep.
And it's got like a little bit of a brown side, light, a little bit of a dark side, and
Okay.
in the middle, there's a beam that comes right out of the middle of the face. If you're looking at the Twitch, you can see me, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And one side's dark over here, and then this side of his face is light. One side's light over here, and this side of his face is dark.
Yep.
And the split that goes right over the middle, people have I don't know if I subscribe to this yet, but people have made a theory that is Snoke. That's an image of him,
And he hangs in the balance. Yeah.
that he was there
Okay.
first,
Whoa.
very first. People have made that theory.
Okay.
Is it extremely far-fetched, and again likely something that nobody but people like me and Jordan are going to get? Yeah. but people have made the theory. I don't know if I buy into it yet.
See that? Yeah. The reason why,
because he's got that split in his face.
yeah, the reason why the expanded universe was so good was because it was all done through retcon. So it was all done after the fact, whereas
Yes.
this is happening as we're going, because those original trilogy movies were not designed to flow properly until, like, they weren't written with a flow. They were written one by one, going, oh, we'll make another one. Oh, we'll make another one.
Well, I
right?
think, didn't George Lucas say after the first one, they're like, oh, so who's going to get with Leia at the end? He's like, oh, maybe Luke.
Well, yeah, I think
or Han Solo, because he didn't know that they were going to be.
change the story.
It's unreal.
And so they had the option to change it all after the movies were already done. Now, and so they didn't have to put a bunch of weird explanations in the movies that slow movies down, that slow the pacing down and draw you in to sit there and listen, which is what the prequels tried to do. And they had a lot,
Yes.
like, that's why the prequels have a lot more lore and they add heaps to the universe, but as movies, they're really boring and average. But if you try and do it with this, that's why I don't know if they will do that, because that's not a good movie, but it's a fantastic Star Wars universe edition. Like, that would be that's like Lord of the Rings. You know, you go and read the book and you go, holy crap, where do I start? Where do I start to try and understand who the Noldor are versus the Sylvan? What's the difference between Noldor and Sylvan? And then you go, shit, like, but they don't do that in the movies. They just went, oh yeah, they're just wood elves, and then there's some Noldor,
Yes.
and you're like,
Yes.
yeah, good on you. So
on ya.
I find good on you, mate. I find that unlikely. Again, like I said, like, I want these things to be true, though. I just dream of that being the way they take it, but
And maybe they'll make it true in the books.
yeah,
Like, there's nothing that says we still can't. I mean, they're making books that are canon right now, and there's nothing that says he can't be this big villain that has some mini connection to somebody, or no connection, just as a big villain. And then in the books, we get this big tie back, and so the people to make it a good. So now we've got a good movie for the people that want to see it, because it's not bogged down our lore. But then but the people like us get the books, where we read these books and we geek out and we go back and watch the trilogy again. And
we should both read
even
the novelization of this movie, I reckon, when it comes out. We should both
I
pick
think
it
I'm
up.
going to, because I wanna read more about that moment when Kylo tells Rey her parents are nobodies.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it was it wasn't, I don't know, it didn't feel like it hit home
So,
that hard in
I'm
that
where are we
actually
up
up
to
for a
now?
transition.
We're up to Arcto, so we'll quickly go to, before we get to that,
Yeah.
we'll quickly
Go
go
ahead.
to the part. All right, so they're back on Resistance ship,
Okay,
and they
at least you know
figure
what's
out
going
they're
on.
being tracked through hyperspace. Now, I saw something on Facebook the other day that was, someone said that in Rogue One there's an Easter egg to this when she's searching through the files to look for Project Stardust. And she says, oh, hyperspace tracking, navigational systems. And,
Awesome.
And I was like, if that's true, if that's what they've done, like, that's so cool. But I don't know, but I also don't mind. It's cool that it's there. So that was interesting. I thought that was cool. But it was a bit, it wasn't tense. You know what I mean? Like, you know how you go, all right, so they're being tracked and being followed and being shot at. It wasn't actually like suspenseful. It, eventually one of the Nebulon, which I found out was a Nebulon C frigate, by the way. It's not a Nebulon B. It's a new version. Nebulon C frigate, his engines stop and it falls back. And I love that moment. And they got the hologram of the guy, and he's like, it's been a pleasure serving with you. You're, I think it's Holdo, and then just gets annihilated, and it's just fantastic. But it's not tense. I didn't find that the chase wasn't tense. It was just so. The other things going on in the background, so like Canto Bright was tense. Some of the other parts were pretty tense, but that part with it was just a bit stale. But I did still like it. But I don't know. I liked it only at the very end when they realized what they had to do. What did you think, Buff Man?
I was a little bored by that portion. Let me put it differently. In comparison to the rest of the film, I was bored in that moment.
Yeah.
But as a Star Wars geek who will go to the theater to watch anything that says Star Wars,
That's right.
I was having a great time.
Yeah. And space. Something about Star Wars space stuff. Oh my God.
Yeah.
If
We're
you
flying out there, we're
there's not
seeing
a
these cannons firing shots at them.
Oh.
I felt like I wanted them to do something more.
You know what upset me
with
about that
it,
though is that they had a trajectory. It was really annoying. They didn't go in a
Agreed.
straight line. That pissed me off. That's not normal in
Where's
Star
the
Wars
gravity
lore.
from?
Yeah, that's right. That actually irritated me, and I was like, they
Same.
didn't need to do that. There's cannons on the underside of that ship that could easily hit it by shooting in a straight line, and laser in all forms of Star Wars, old and new, always went in straight lines. There's no gravity in space.
No bullet drop.
Yeah.
So it was just like, I was like, that's just annoying. That almost, I go, all right, do the DVD, director's cut, and just change that. Just change it.
I didn't
Just get
notice
rid of
it.
Yeah, because you could.
I didn't notice it at all.
Oh,
Yeah.
mate, but I know Buff noticed it
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he's just like, what's that about?
Yeah.
So that annoyed me. What else annoyed me? I don't know. I did like it, but yeah, I think I liked the intricacy on the ship. I actually liked Holdo as a character wasn't really good until the very end. You made her. They did a good job of making her be a bad guy. She was like a bad guy in the Resistance, and then at the end you go, oh shit, actually, so she's been across it the whole time. But the explanation, as you said,
She just didn't want to tell Poe because
Yeah.
he was a hothead and he would have gone.
I think that it's disappointing that they didn't he didn't explain it to him. For what reason they didn't explain it to him? Oh, just because you didn't need to know. It's like, well, Poe's a captain.
But he got demoted, didn't he?
Yeah,
as
he
well?
was a commander.
Yeah, he
and
was
then he
captain. Okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't get why. I mean, he pushed her to. She pushed him to mutiny.
Yeah.
And all she would have had to say is, "I've got a plan.
Yeah.
We're going to this rebel base,
Yeah.
old rebel
Oh,
base."
there's a planet just down there. Can't you see it?
And he's gonna be like,
He didn't like.
"Load it
he
up,
didn't
boys.
like
Let's
the-
get moving."
Yeah, he didn't like the plan, but she didn't give him the full plan, which was to
Right.
go to this planet.
No, they just thought they were going to exhaust all their fuel.
Yeah, and then get off on these
Yeah.
escape pods and continue running away, right? And I
Yes.
liked that. I loved Poe in this movie. Like, this was the Poe show, man. I was like, he is a badass motherfucker in this movie. Like, he was kicking ass. He was like not taking shit. He was like, no, this resistance means too much to me. And if, as far as I know, I can't remember where was it in a book or something. Poe's family was killed because he talks to Finn in The Force Awakens, and he's like, I've been in this resistance since I was 12 years old or something like that. Is that am I mixing something up there?
I don't know, man.
But-
Yeah, no, that I think that's the Rogue One guy.
Yeah, that's Rogue One. It's Cassian Andor.
Oh,
Shit.
yeah.
Cassian Andor. That's
Damn it.
Cassian. Sorry.
But either way, I know that Poe's family, because Nora Wexley, no, that's Snap Wexley's mum. Snap Wexley's, yeah.
You just ramble off names, mate. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's Poe's parents are, I think, dead. It's for as far as I know, killed by the First Order or the Empire Remnant or something like that. So he's a diehard Resistance guy, and it was great to see him kick off, and really let loose with this stuff. So that was pretty cool. What are we going on to next? What happened in the story after that?
Well, then they get Finn.
Yeah, so Finn and Rose.
Rose, yeah.
Now Rose, I didn't necessarily like Rose that much. She's kind of annoying. What did you think?
So
Unnecessary addition to our story.
Yeah.
Especially since like
she didn't need to be there. No.
she died. She died, right?
Did she die? I don't know. Well, they
I don't think she's dead.
They dragged her out. He took her back to base.
Okay.
So I don't know if she's dead.
Maybe she'll do more. The scenes she was in, I thought she did. I thought she was good. Like she acted fine. She didn't like wreck the movie.
No.
However, a lot of the scenes she was in, I thought were forced and unnecessary.
The only part I liked of her was that she explains to Finn why Canto Bright is so bad when he's saying, "Oh, this is so cool, this place." And she's like, "Look, you know why it's so cool? Because all the money that goes into this place comes from people selling weapons to the First Order." And I was like, "That's cool because we're getting a more neutral zone, right? We're getting a more like in between the good and the bad." Same with Benicio del Toro's character, DJ.
Oh, he was awesome.
Like
he was just such a slimy Slytherin, just creeping between everything.
And a real in-between. And we didn't have that in The Force Awakens. It was all just people on the good or the bad side. And it pissed me off because Star Wars needs that. Star Wars has always had that, and it really kicked off with Empire when you see the bounty hunters and Bespin. Bespin is the hive, well, Lando, the hive of a neutrality. You know, like we're trying to stay out of the way of the Empire, but we're not really involving ourselves with the rebels either. And then the Empire gets there and they've got to pick a side. And so that's what Canto Bright was great for that. And she explains to him, because he's been in the First Order all his life. He has no idea what's going on. And then he's like, oh, shit, true. That's fair enough. But yeah, she just was a bit flat. Nothing to do with her. I think it's just more like her character wasn't written very well.
Yeah. She delivers that other line at the end. It's not about the people we kill, but the people we save or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some. I mean,
she has two lines.
Yeah, she has some moments where she makes sense to be there. I feel like she might have just been with Finn for some. I don't know. They needed him to do something with someone. They couldn't just have him go off on his own, and maybe that's just for the movie perspective.
They could have just taken Poe. Like they could have just went off.
No, not in the context of what they did instead with Poe. I think.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because they wanted us to show. They wanted us to show Poe not taking shit.
Yeah, and being a commander.
His commitment to the rebellion and his willingness to give everything up to win. I think that was his moment there, or that was his story arc, is whatever it takes.
Oh, wouldn't you love they're doing a Poe comic, aren't they?
You're kidding,
right? I think Marvel's already started a Poe comic. I love Poe. Like I liked him in the first movie, but he didn't get enough in The Force Awakens. He didn't get enough screen time. But my God, if he isn't 10 times cooler now. Because he's always in the front lines. He's just trying to kill himself. He's got like suicidal, which is kind of like Han Solo towards the end of Return of the Jedi. He just really realizes how much he's got to give. But Han Solo has a different arc though. Like he always acts like he's trying to get away. He doesn't care, but he really does care. Whereas Poe acts like he cares, and he's crazy.
But I think now he's going to be smarter instead of a hothead now after the end when he
That's right.
Yeah.
Because he's learned like Holdo's sacrifice.
Yeah.
He's learned from that.
Yeah.
So you're right.
So before we get to the casino, I thought the introduction of Maz was also forced. Not introduction, excuse me. The Maz bit.
It was a bit weird, wasn't it? Having a gunfight in a cantina.
Not to mention, Finn had met her once, and she scared the hell out of him, and that was it. And then he said, I need a weapon, and she looked at the lightsaber and said, "You got one." And that was all of their exchanges. And it's not had these movies had 4 years in between them, I'd have been like, all right, they probably have seen each other again, or he probably went back there, or they've been in contact. But in this case, they've talked once, and that's who he calls to be like, "Hey, life and death situation. I need a code breaker. You're the one to help me."
Yeah, it is a bit of a stretch. You can see that they're desperate, so they would contact whoever they knew. And I mean, that's the last slimy place he went into, Maz's cantina.
Finn doesn't know many people in the world.
Exactly.
They're stuck
Okay.
on ships.
All right.
So
That's less painful.
yeah. So the casino scene, I liked that.
Oh,
I thought
dude.
it was really. I thought that artistically,
It looked amazing.
it looked fantastic.
Yep. It was cool artistically.
And it was new. It was not like you haven't seen that in Star Wars yet, have we? We haven't seen.
Have not.
We haven't seen the slimy rich in
No, that was
Star
our
Wars. Yeah, you see Coruscant, but it's just the city. So,
Yeah.
but you see the slimy rich and the flagrantly careless in this movie, where they don't care that they are that all the whole galaxy, the Republic just got absolutely annihilated. They don't give a shit. And
Yeah, like
yeah,
a month ago, 5 planets blew up.
exactly.
They're just like, it's all good. I'm just still winning money at the casino.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And that's what's, I think it's really good. They've got this, they're showing you this like real carelessness. That it's not, the whole galaxy doesn't center around the First Order and the Republic. There's these fringes and there's different parts. And that's what all the best Star Wars, the good Star Wars books from the expanded universe dealt with those things. And, you know, it was always complex. There wasn't just light and dark, black and white.
Good, bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I think it's it was great to see, and they added some new like aliens. I was like, what the hell are these things?
Oh, you'll find the names out when you read the book.
Well, I've read a few, and I'm like, whoa, I don't know that they're new creatures,
Yeah.
new alien races. They've changed and they've steered away from some of the old ones, which disappoints me because I like seeing the old ones, like because they exist. You know, like where were the Twi'leks in this movie?
Nah, they weren't filthy
Right?
rich, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true because the Twi'leks are like a slave race on Ryloth.
Yes, they are.
So
They
that
wouldn't
makes
be rich.
sense. They wouldn't be rich, but there are still some
But
that
not
are
all of
scum.
them.
Yeah, that's right. Not all of them. Some of them exploit their slave brothers and sisters and become rich. So
Yeah.
like Bib Fortuna, although I don't know if he was rich. I don't know if he was rich. He was just Jabba's little fucking butt buddy.
Bib.
Bib.
Yeah.
Bib Fortuna. That's such a good name. So yeah, I mean, I did miss a few of the alien races that I was expecting to see. I liked that they had Eloasti's sidekick alien race guy. Eloasti died in Force Awakens. He's one of the pilots in the Resistance who has like the fangs, like the weird face with fangs on it. But then he has Poe's got his other mate who's also that race as well. But I believe he dies when they blow up. Oh no, he doesn't die. He's there because he helps him trigger the mutiny. So there are some more alien races in there. The little guy with he's drunk and he's putting the coins in BB-8. That was pretty good. I thought that was kind of funny. So some of the humor, really,
Some of it was good.
Really did well in that part.
I'd say 40% of it went all right.
What did you think? You know what? So this was Star Wars for me, Buff. The security, the police on Picanto Bright looked amazing. I love their ships. I love their uniforms and their guns. I liked all the art that they chose with that, and they were not new. They were very new. They didn't look like stormtroopers. They didn't look like, they're just really different. And I was like, that's cool.
It was the police for that planet. They did a good job not making it cookie cutter.
Yeah, and that's what I thought.
Had that been cookie cutter, that would have been.
Yeah, you know, you get like some stormtroopers down there. You're like, oh god, they don't just have stormtroopers everywhere. So
there aren't enough yet.
So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. What do you think of Canto Bright as a whole? Or that scene, the whole act on Canto Bright.
I thought it was cool. I liked the whole them riding on that little whatever it was.
I forgot what it's called now.
I've forgotten what they call it, but yeah, that was
They
pretty
don't
cool.
actually. Oh, maybe they do say it, but it's in the book. I did know the other day, but I've forgotten now.
Yeah, that was cool. I liked how it looked. It looked amazing. It really fit the scene of like the filthy rich of like the Star Wars universe all come to this crazy casino and
The racing, betting on the things, and yeah, that's cool. What did you think, Buff?
he didn't-
Artistically done well.
Yep.
Story wise?
I like Finn's realization that not everything's good and bad, and that this place is awesome, but these guys are war profiteers.
Yeah.
Later, I like Finn's realization that these people are selling to both First Order and Rebellion
Mm.
when we get in that ship later.
Yeah, that was cool. When they
I
started
like
showing
that moment. However, I don't like Antonio Banderas in general.
Okay. Yeah.
And I felt like that whole story arc just felt off for me.
Mm.
So like we've got this tiny amount of fuel left, and we got to outrun these ships. Hey, I know what we'll do. We'll send 2 people to some other random planet that has a casino to find a code breaker. And so we flew there. We did all of that. We got our dude, and we flew all the way back before the fuel ran out. I felt like that. And sometimes you just got to accept stuff like that.
Because what did they have? They had 6 hours. Was it 6 or 7 hours at that point? Yeah, it wasn't much. Like, yeah. And they went,
So,
they were in jail for what, 20 minutes, was it? All up? Maybe? I don't know. Yeah, like, it's
Max.
yeah.
So again, it's this thing where I left the theater thinking like that was such a waste of screen time. There's so much more we could have done there. But as I look back and I'm thinking towards the future, I think the Banderas character could be.
Oh, you call him Antonio
one.
Banderas. It's Benicio del Toro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's Benicio del Toro. Thank you. Why was I calling him Antonio Banderas?
So racist, Buffalo.
Anyway.
So
Yeah.
racist. They don't all look the same.
They
Man.
all look the same, mate. Don't lie to yourself.
Yeah, Del Toro. I think his character could be interesting. Should they choose to bring him back? And
I was a bit disappointed that he flipped. I was expecting a Lando Calrissian flip, in that he realizes his mistake, and he seemed like he was going to be the Lando Calrissian, and then he wasn't, and I was like, oh shit! But I'm like, I fell into that trap of expecting something that
we've seen before
again, and that's okay. I was just like,
Agreed.
I don't want characters for the sake of it sometimes. Like, so he comes in and goes, and if he's gone, then I'm like, oh shit. You know, I don't know.
Then it was a cameo for cameo's sake. I think it's also interesting that we get this kid that's got the Force. Looking back, with the potential that could mean something for us in a later movie, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty cool down the track. So hopefully that might be the direction they're doing with this new trilogy.
We can hope.
So, I mean, after that, they basically get off. They get the code breaker. They get out of there. Get off Canto Bright. That was pretty cool. Now they go onto the ship, and that was an interesting section that felt a little bit short. They get in their disguises, and then they wander around, and then all of a sudden they're caught. And I'm like, oh shit! All right then.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I thought that could have been
more
well done.
And
maybe director's cut has more of that.
And this is during the mutiny. This is the same time, I think, as the mutiny is going on. So it all sorts.
We're worried about them.
Yeah.
Leaving them out there while the mutiny's happening and nobody's ready to jump to light speed.
I felt like the pacing was really good, but because I felt really stressed, I was like, "Oh shit!" You know, like everything's going to shit now. Like the resistance has got infighting. And these guys are getting caught, and Rey's going to the bloody mega Star Destroyer. She's landing on there.
The resistance is dead.
Yeah, it's a real low point, and I thought that was well done in the movie. I didn't like that they got caught. They get caught, and then you see it's Benicio del Toro who's backstabbed them. DJ, he's backstabbed them. And I think that. Phasma. We got to talk about Phasma. Yeah, what is there to talk about?
Right. I mean, like, why did we zoom in on her eye? What was our point there?
Yeah, you'd never seen her with her helmet off, and now you got her eye.
I didn't get the significance.
Yeah,
I don't. There were a couple of places here where they did something that I felt like was supposed to mean something, and I haven't been able to figure out what it meant yet.
Yeah. Scuba reckons that Benicio del Toro will be back, so that'd be cool.
Yeah, it might be.
Phasma just dies, and you're like, Are you serious?
She was meant to be super tough too. Yeah.
It pissed me off because I read that book. I listened to the audiobook of the Phasma audiobook, and she is tough as nails.
So she died from these little plebs.
Well,
kind of thing.
sort of.
Is she dead?
She died by accident.
Well, they didn't.
Well, she fell into the fire and
You didn't see her burning?
The ship blows up. So the Mega Star Destroyer. I mean, that would if they put her back in the movie, I'll be like, piss off. They didn't even explain until you read the book how she gets out of the trash compactor. She's just back.
Yeah, she's
and
just
apparently
there.
she uses
I fell on
like
an escape pod.
she uses like an acidic something or other to break the door seal on the trash compactor and escapes. And I'm like, well, all right, but we don't know that. She just appears in the next movie. So that's what I mean. Like, I don't.
I hope she's dead. But
yeah, I hope she's dead. But it sucks.
Compared to what she like, this big character she's supposed to be, like Finn just took care of business.
I was
in both movies. She wasn't. Like,
I was
she
hoping
a bit lackluster.
I was hoping she was going to defect to save her own life.
That would have been cool.
I was hoping she was going to defect to save herself because that's how she's portrayed in the book. She is
self-preservation,
out for herself and only herself, and whatever she has to do to get through, she will kill anyone and anything to get through. And I like that. But it seemed like that's not obviously where it went. And I was like, oh, shit. So she's just gone. And she was flat in both movies. So
she was
you can almost call it a cameo in this one. He just shows up. She shows up and just gets fucked. And I'm like, all right then. So, I mean, yeah, like disappointing. Made me sad that Phasma's gone. So then now we're at the point where it's real kicked off on the Poe's been updated as to what's going on the in the plan, and Holdo's got to stay back. Holdo's decided she's staying back. She's not running anymore. She's getting behind the Radis's controls, and she flies that bad boy right into the Mega Star Destroyer.
We also missed all the whole stuff with
monumental scene
with Rey and Kylo, how they're connected and stuff like that. So how did you feel about the Force connection and stuff like that? That does
happen beforehand.
Yeah.
Force connection, I loved the Force connection. Thought it was really good.
Even after he died, do you reckon after Snoke died, do you reckon they still should have had that Force connection afterwards?
Well, that's
if he's alive.
That's right.
That's another thing. They had it afterwards too, right at the end.
I think he bridged the gap, and then they maintain it. I don't believe that he has anything to do with maintaining the gap. But Buffalo has a different perspective.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of ways we can go with why.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
we could say that Snoke that died was actually Kylo's projection of Snoke.
Yeah.
We could say that.
Yeah, because they're all projections now. They can do that.
And so Kylo, with the Force, made Snoke say, I'm the one who made that thing, that bridge. Right? I mean, I also think that's true, but you're right. He could have opened the bridge, and now they're just connected forever.
Yeah. And also the whole, the Luke and Kylo scene where he went to kill him. That whole kind of thing where he flipped.
Not up to that,
yeah. Is that was
no,
talking about it then? They talked about it before they blew the Star Destroyer up.
Yeah, he's talking about at the Academy.
When you go back at the Academy, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
How great of them to show us both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I had a feeling that they were going to. I did like it that they were like, oh, okay, so first of all, you thought you had to strike him down and end it, right? But then he tells, no, it was a lie. But then it's like, so Kylo says, no, it's actually a lie. He tried to kill me. And then Luke's like, no, I actually was thinking of it. I had a moment of weakness. And then I decided I didn't want to, but you saw me with my lightsaber above you and you thought that. So again, he's sort of like, no, you are still ideologically driven to believe that I want to kill you and that I am bad, and you can't see that I'm not. So Luke still redeems himself in terms of being, he had a moment of weakness and he won't forgive himself, but he still maintains that he didn't do the wrong thing and he couldn't obviously convince him, and it triggered Kylo to basically turn into this evil, defend himself, and Snoke manipulated him from there.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really good. I wanted more, obviously. Just give me where's more of Luke's attempts at creating the Jedi Order. Can you imagine a book on that? Like,
we had one, but it's now legend, right?
Yeah.
There was a trilogy of that, and it was
Jedi Academy
great.
trilogy. I haven't read that one. I've played the games.
Oh, the trilogy is great.
Yeah, I've got
Great.
it. I've got them at home, but I haven't read them.
Because we deal with that Sith who kept himself alive.
Exar Kun?
Yes, Exar Kun is a part of that trilogy. It's awesome.
Yeah,
It's awesome. But did we just skip over the Luke training?
No,
portion
so
there
we did
as
skip
well?
over that as well. So we need to go back to Luke training.
Kind of, because these things hop around. This is one of the actual positives of the movie.
But all this happened before the Star Destroyer got destroyed.
But Rey, so Rey's the training kind of happens, and it also kind of doesn't.
Well, it doesn't. It implied happened. Like you only saw them fight it out with a stick once. Yeah.
Go ahead, Buff.
My few points about the training. Remember this comment for later. Luke never physically touches anything.
No.
He milks that bad boy alien.
He touches that nipple, but that's about it.
He milks that alien. That's right. He does milk that alien. Okay. I forgot.
And he gets the spear and chucks it in the fish and hops
he does
along.
fight Rey, like he with her staff and his.
But he never physically touches Rey at a minimum.
I don't think so. No.
Nope, just with that leaf. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Wax it.
Yeah. The other piece that is this moment where I left the scene flabbergasted or confused, because when Rey goes down into that black hole and looks at all the mirrors and is talking to herself.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was supposed to glean or what she learned from that moment.
I didn't get that either.
I didn't like the narration at that point. I really didn't like the narration. I was like, what is going on here? Who is she talking to?
Yeah.
And then it comes in, he's talking to Luke. But
I almost feel
it was
like
a bit jarring that
it
point.
was very jarring. It was a Luke going to find Vader on Dagobah, and it was not done as well. That was very clear what that meant in that, he's fighting Vader, but in fact he's fighting himself, and he will become Vader if he chooses to go and destroy Vader, right?
Exactly.
But this time you're like, what? Why
did we go in that hole?
She's got a bunch of mirrors of herself, and they're all delayed, and she's clicking her fingers, and you're like, what?
Yeah, it was making a cool, funky sound.
Why did we do this? Yeah, it was super cool.
Yeah.
I was waiting for something like big to happen.
Yeah,
in that
like
moment.
Snoke to just go, oh, I found you, and something like that. But
yeah.
No, it was just her trying to find her parents, and she found herself.
I don't know. She was trying to find her parents, and she just looks in the mirror itself. I'm like,
because she was hoping her parents were Jedis or something.
Yeah,
like
something
that.
like that. And but I don't know.
She was hoping it was the magic mirror from Harry Potter, and she could see her parents.
I feel like
talk to them in the magic mirror.
Emily's point's pretty fair. She said that she was trying to find out where she belongs in all of this, and that's the whole story of hers. Where do I belong? I agree that
Fair.
she's trying to find that out. I just don't think they explain that scene very well. That basically, like, she's trying to find out where she belongs, but it's sort of like she belongs right where she is. Yeah, and that's right. And Emily said, the point is that actually doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you're trying to search for something that isn't there. In other words, she looks in the mirror and sees herself, but I don't think that was well done.
Yeah,
I don't think that was explained very well. But it was. I get that point. I think you're right there that she's made a concerted effort to discover herself, but it just was pointless. It felt a bit flat.
Yeah.
So all right, well let's go back. Let's go to the best scene of the entire movie. Let's just get right to it.
All right, let's do it.
The single greatest thing in the most recent Star Wars history is the Snoke chamber scene. That is I loved it. I couldn't get it. I want to see it again. So what did you think, Buff?
I also liked it.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty awesome. I liked all the dialogue that occurred in that room.
Oh yeah, great.
If that really is Snoke and that's how he dies, I hate that.
Yeah.
I liked the fight for the saber. I thought that was awesome. And to see how much power was in that lightsaber as it split apart and blew up, which, note, Snoke's body didn't move at all when it blew up. I kind of thought the fight of the Snoke's guards at V, Kylo, and Rey was weakly choreographed.
Yeah.
I thought it could have been a bit cooler. That was just such a cool scene.
I really liked their fighting and the differences, but yeah, maybe when I see it again.
Well, I think when they both get caught at the same point at throat, it's a bit, you're like, oh, okay, that's a bit corny, cliche.
Okay.
Yeah, getting caught right there. Yeah.
Fair enough. Maybe that wasn't a strong suit of that scene. I can't remember.
I did like.
I liked the guards.
Though,
I liked the guards.
Yes, the guards all having different type weapons with a laser type edge.
Yeah.
Really cool. But I don't. So them getting I just remember after that scene being like, man, I wanted more from that thing than what we got. So the other point, as I'm trying to connect these dots here, the lightsaber blows up, right?
Yep.
And Snoke's body doesn't move, but a little bit later, General Hux walks in the room and his legs fall down.
Yeah, that's a bit odd, isn't it? Yeah. So like a massive lightsaber just exploded. Yeah. Or is it just poor animation? I don't know. Like they didn't think of that. Oh, maybe his body should have flopped against the wall or something like that. Yeah.
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 Yeah. It was good. I liked how that guard fell into that rotating kind of fan thing and got minced up. That was pretty brutal for a Star Wars film. I was like, whoa, didn't expect that to happen. That was unreal.
Yeah, the Praetorian Guards were fantastic. If you get the visual dictionary buff, they do explain a few of their weapon choices, and their armor is very protective, more like its energy.
So I want to know what
provides magnetic energy fields, so like
swords
reflects blaster bolts and stuff.
What are they? With that red kind of tinge to the end, like the lightsaber.
Oh, I don't know what their names of the sort of weapons are. They all have different like weapons. A whip, one's got a whip.
Because that whip thing, why did he wrap it around his arm and didn't get hurt? Is it just because it was around
because
the arm?
because his armor is magnetically resistant, so like it resists energy, like blaster bolts. It talks about that in the book.
Okay.
And it does actually, it protects them against it. It apparently hurts them to wear it, but it says like, they do anything for Snoke in the First Order, which is why they're so ruthless in like, even though he's already dead, they all flip out and they go, well, you're dead now. And then they end up getting wasted anyway.
Yeah.
So they're pretty intense. I liked the design on their costumes was great too. I thought they looked really cool.
Oh yeah.
Homage to the Royal Guards, but more badass. The Royal Guards did nothing.
No, the Royal Guards kind of sucked.
Yeah,
but
these guys were like, "Fuck you, we're not doing nothing. We're legit." The most the Royal Guards do is in Revenge of the Sith, where they go to try and fight Yoda, and he just throws them against the wall, and that's it.
That's at the end. See you guys.
They're not even the Royal Guards, though. They're the Republic Guards, aren't they? They're different. Or are they Royal Guards?
I suppose because
they're the Senate Guards or something like that.
I suppose that would be Republic Guard.
Yeah. Anyway, I did like that scene, and I liked the tension between Rey and Kylo, and they team up, and oh my god, that it just made me like, ugh. And he's trying to convince her to join him again. He's determined.
The thing is like he's going, there's no Sith, there's no Jedi. Let's just create a new, which is really cool. Like I like that.
I loved hearing him say, "We can make things the way we want," almost identical to Anakin to Padme.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I liked that.
What do you think of Kylo Ren as a whole?
I don't know much about him yet. Yeah. I like that
as a character in the movie so far. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah. What do you think, Aaron?
About Kylo Ren?
Yeah.
He's good, but he's showing that kind of Anakin type of thing. You know how he's still young, immature, angry, way too stubborn kind of thing. I'm keen to see how he grows in his whole story arc kind of thing. I want to see what happens.
I actually think he's the best thing since Darth Vader.
You reckon?
He saves a lot of the dark side. The First Order frustrates me sometimes in that they're a little bit corny.
Yeah.
And he brings them back down to earth. and makes
I
them
like
very
his-
human.
Yeah, I like his turmoil.
Yeah. His he doesn't fire the torpedoes into the Radis to kill his mother, but his wingmen do. And you're like,
Yep.
and then he just sort of has to deal with it. He's like, oh shit, they just did it anyway. And he's like, "Ugh," like I wasn't going to kill my mum. And you're like, oh,
That's why I was kind of
shit.
wishing that she did die then, because that would have made him even more pissed off. Like he'd been the super dark side.
Yeah, I think it's got to be a bit more poetic than that. You know what I mean? Like they're very poetic with the killing of the
How
main
are they going to
characters.
CGI her in the ninth film? Like it's going to be odd. Hopefully she doesn't look as bad as that.
I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that just because I just it's upsetting, and it's like let's just let them decide what they want to do with that. So
I just don't want them to pull a Rogue One.
what's up?
Before we move forward in the story, can I just call out the thing I hated the most about the movie was that Luke Skywalker called a lightsaber a laser sword
Did he?
Did he really? When did he say that?
at the beginning.
He also called
you-
it the
what did you guys think?
Jedi religion as well. He's
He did say Jedi religion.
He basically, I think he's just taking the piss. He's really jaded against the
I almost
Jedi
left.
Order.
You almost left a laser sword. I'm done.
It did
See you-
stuff like that. It does.
Well, I think it was. He was taking a piss on the whole thing because he got
but
this
I think
laser sword.
there's
He
taking the
is.
piss, and then there's like just doing it and not really giving the proper respect to the Star Wars universe like that's deserved. You know what I mean? Like I get that they did that on purpose, but sometimes you go like, did you have to do that? Like he's not so ridiculous. Like he's not so crazy that he's like this. Like
Right,
he
like
does
some
he knows
some
fucking
Trekkie
lightsabers.
would call it a laser sword.
Yeah.
They would call it that to get under my skin.
That's what I mean. Like, but,
I like that.
But
Just
I think
pissed you off. It got you
Yeah.
triggered. Yeah.
It did. It did. Anyway, we can continue on with our
I just
storyline.
I don't know.
I thought the whole scene of him milking was just cringeworthy. I was just like, what is he doing? Oh,
Yeah. Why are we watching this?
Yeah.
trying
what
to,
is this?
I think they're just trying to show like
he's gone. He's done.
They're trying to show he's living a weird life now. He's a strange person.
He's a hermit. Yeah.
Making it like
Boy, isn't he?
Yoda cooking up some weird food that Luke doesn't like. He's like, ugh, he eats
Yeah.
this food.
Yeah.
Like that sort of thing. Like really, he's an oddball. He's become crazy.
He's
So-
gone crazy, right? He should have given her a
Yeah.
wink after he friggin' drank that green milk. Like, just
Yeah.
like,
So I don't know. I think, and then ending the story right. Ray leaves. She
yeah.
she gets the hell out of there.
yeah.
Doesn't want anything to do with Kylo. Oh, yep, you're right.
Kylo tells her who her parents are.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Which
They're
is
nothing. They're nobody.
no
But do
one.
you believe that, though?
Yes.
Do you reckon
No.
he's just... No,
Oh,
yeah. See,
all right,
that's another thing.
conflicts. Here we go. All right.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. I don't
think
believe
he's-
that. I don't believe that they're going to allow it to happen. I think Kylo believes she's nobody, or Kylo wants her to believe she's nobody.
Yeah.
He actually knows who her parents are.
Yeah.
One of those two things. And if he knows who her parents are, who her parents really are, what her lineage is, and he says you're nobody, and this she has this expectation, right? Now she has the Force. Now her eyes are open. Her parents must be somebody.
And they're
he
not.
crushes
Yeah.
that hope.
Yeah.
To try and draw her in.
And
Oh.
didn't they build up a fair bit of stuff in was it the episode 7 when they were talking about it? Like you could see JJ Abrams wanted to have her parents be somebody.
Well, sort of. But I think they wanted you to think that at the very least.
Okay. And Moo Cow
Yeah, they
Chicken,
wanted
he just said that Star Wars is probably the worst movie series in history. Just to piss you guys off.
Troy,
Yeah.
don't trigger me, man. You're going to trigger me. So that was, yeah. It was
Just
a good-
kidding, Mukau.
It was
Yeah.
an interesting. It was an interesting direction to take.
So
Depends
here's,
on-
can I tell you my hope? Do we have time for me to
course
walk
you
you
do.
Oh,
man. We got-
we're just going to keep going
We're
until
gonna
we've had
go.
enough.
Yeah. This is a long episode.
my hope for her lineage, which
Yep.
it maybe almost makes me feel cringeworthy about it, but I still hope it's true, is that her sets of grandparents are Qui-Gon and Shmi Skywalker, because Shmi and
Fucking-
Qui-Gon they were pretty handsy.
Pretty fancy.
I fucking hate Shmi. If it's anything to do with Shmi, then I'll fucking neck myself.
That's one, right? And I think, and maybe the Force controls everything, right? The Force kind of has a path and it flows through us, and that's why, and that's why he was so set as a Grey Jedi on freeing Shmi because he loved her or lusted her, and the Force didn't allow it to happen.
She's ugly as
All right,
fuck.
so-
Liam Neeson could
And
get
she's
way better than Shmi.
Agreed, dude. He was settling.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And her other set of grandparents is Obi-Wan
Okay.
and Duchess Satine.
Yeah, I like that more. I love Obi-Wan and Duchess in the Clone Wars.
Because now we have these like Qui-Gon, who is a lot of people's favorite Jedi.
Oh, he's so good.
Dude's a beast. Shmi, she's got a little bit of Skywalker. She's got a little bit of Kenobi, and now she's got a little bit of Mandalorian. And so now we're thinking, well, why could she handle that sword so
Fuck
well?
yeah.
She's got Mandalorian lineage, dude.
Yeah.
That's why, because she was a born mercenary.
This is a theory of a Star Wars nerd, right? This is what I'm saying. This is why I think
great.
This is why I think they don't
That's what
do
I-
this stuff. Is because I don't like.
They won't. I agree, they won't.
But it sucks. But like, also, it would be cool. But then no one else would get it.
But I think they're just getting away from the Skywalkers, and that's what they want to do.
Well, it's not Skywalkers. I mean, I guess it is
Yes.
technically a little bit of Skywalker in there. But like, I like that idea. But they won't do that because it's nice and complex. But it's Star Wars isn't like Lord of the Rings where it's got this big. They've just deleted all of the cool lore, and so now they're left with like, let's make it more simple for easy to understand. I'm like, no, that sucks.
That's not what we want.
No.
Yeah.
That's not what we want. That's maybe what a lot of people do want. though.
Yeah, that's right. All right,
So anyway,
let's quickly.
Yeah, let's finish it up.
Let's go. We're going to try and do 2 hours, so we got like another 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll keep going. Because Bearded Buffalo's got to be playing some
Yeah,
PUBG
he's got to
soon.
get on there.
He's got to be playing 1.0. Because did you know that came out this week, Jordan?
I think I saw that. Yeah.
1.0.
Shit.
And I heard Minion saying on your chat, going, it's running smooth like butter, mate. What do you reckon?
It is.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's running
it's
good.
nice.
Yeah.
So nice. I mean, for as much as we've ripped on Bluehole,
Yeah.
man, good on them.
They've done a good job by
Yeah.
now. So the end scene on what's the name of that planet now?
Crate.
That's it. Yeah. The salty salt planet.
This I feel like this was just thrown in for pure artistic feels. Like the whole ship when they were flying along this and all the red sand from underneath was flying up in the air. It looked amazing. Like I'm not saying it looked bad, but it felt like it was definitely
I don't think it was
artistic approach.
Well, I don't think it was forced because this was the death throes of the Resistance. This is the last thing they could possibly have done. And so they just did it because they're like, well, we have no chance unless we go here.
Yeah. But I mean the planet design.
The planet design, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. They just decide that stuff. I think they do it was artistic, but so is Canto Bright. It's all got to be artistic. It's Star Wars. It's got to have imagery. It's all about like unseen planets, unknown things that you should.
A salty surface with a red tinge underneath.
Yeah.
I actually thought that guy was bleeding the first time he took a step. I'm like, oh crap,
yeah,
he's dying.
He thought he's got shot.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
the first time we saw Crate was in a book, Leia, Princess of Alderaan.
Oh, I haven't read
Okay,
that.
all right.
I haven't read it either.
But do they talk about the salty planet in that book?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
So someone created that then, right? And now we see it a bunch.
That's cool. That's good. It's good it's there in Star Wars lore somewhere.
Yeah, so an old rebel base there.
Mm-hmm.
The Volptexes, if they weren't the coolest fucking things I've ever seen. The little ice dogs.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Crystal dogs.
They were really cool.
They're better than those chicken things, man. I didn't.
Porgs.
Oh man, they were annoying me in the end. You know, when
I
that,
thought they were pretty cool. Yeah.
I don't think it needs to have close up of their face in the shots in the Millennium Falcon.
Some of the shots are a bit cheesy.
That's a Disney toy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to make a lot of money
The
off them.
Volptex, though, I honestly was like, that was a great addition. I love new creatures. So like the Wampa, the Wampa in Hoth, and the Sarlacc and the Rancor in Return of the Jedi, and then you get, I know it's a bit scaled down version, but like a little crystal dog that helps them
Find
figure
the
out
exit, yeah.
the exit because they've been living there and surviving there for so long. So, I loved it. But the scene was pretty cool, and I really thought Finn was going to die.
Yeah, I thought he was going to sacrifice himself.
Yeah.
Me too.
There was a lot of
I
sacrifice.
was
in
okay
this.
with it.
I was ready for
Yeah.
that too. And I was
So was
sad,
I.
but I was also like, that's brutal that they're killing some of these characters off.
I thought this is going to be good. This is Game of Thrones style. This is get rid of some of the main guys, make it feel real deep and bad. Yeah.
So instead, they keep getting rid of the old characters, which is fine. But maybe like that would be surprising too. Go like, oh, like maybe Rey dies or something. But that I don't want that. I like Rey.
All the Jedi's are really gone.
Finn's
Finn-
he's my weakest of the newer characters. I find him to be a little bit frustrating.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have minded, and it would have been sad. It would have been good. They've got some new characters there, but yeah, it was a bit flat. The charging into the walkers, it sort of did nothing. Like literally, they did it, and then it just didn't work, and it almost was like, oh. Okay. Well, we could have just sat back if you weren't going to do anything anyway. You could have just not gone at them, and they didn't achieve a single thing. Not a damaged walker. I was like, okay.
I think that's supposed to just kind of pan off of that feeling we had as they were escaping to Crate. Like this is the end of this is the end of this group of rebels, and like this is how Leia goes now.
Yeah, it's true. It did have it had good direction. I was I guess
Not well done.
expecting more of a fight, but why would I when
All they did was fly out and get shot, picked off one by one.
Picked off like crazy. So, all right,
Go ahead.
let's the cool scene. Luke shows up.
Yeah, this is probably the scene, and after this is probably the scene that a lot of people are angry about.
Yeah.
So
Luke shows up.
Wait, the dice part? Let's not.
no,
let's
the
not
dice
skip
part.
that.
No,
I
yeah,
love
you like it? Yeah. How Luke gave the dice to Leia. That's how it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
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 Those are the dice from the Millennium Falcon,
Yep.
but they weren't actually, right? Because much later they disappeared.
Yeah. True.
Um.
Just another image that he put
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
So Luke shows up to fight Kylo, or as it seems, to fight Kylo.
Well,
What do you think?
I thought, yes, he's finally come back. He's a man. He's actually getting back into it. He realizes that he is a Jedi and he's not going to go back to his old ways. That's what I thought. I thought, holy crap, he's back.
I thought Yoda finally whipped sense into him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah.
Got his little leaf out and whipped him over the head.
And I don't know how.
I wish I would have noticed some of the things that are like, when I look back, are so obvious for me to know he wasn't there. But
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't notice it then.
Because you thought,
I
oh, he
didn't
just
notice
cleaned himself up. He's put his robes
cleaned
back on,
himself up,
cut his hair.
but-
He's back into it.
Right. I didn't notice that he had the lightsaber that was already destroyed. I didn't
Yeah.
notice he wasn't making footprints in the salt like
Yeah, true.
like the other dude did. So like there are a lot of things I didn't notice, but I was so pumped.
I liked when he gets blasted by all the walkers and then he's just still standing there like a badass.
He just walks out.
Me
from
too,
the
dude.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's on now.
and then
Kylo.
and Kylo just throws Hux into the wall to tell him to shut up.
Oh, yeah, that
Yeah,
was
just
unreal.
like-
Loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, I felt like that was a great, like, just anger.
I think this is what
Yep.
everyone wanted to see when they came into this film. They wanted to see Luke fighting again.
And so Kylo comes out to bring, says, all right, bring it on then. And then Luke just toys with him. He obviously can't block with his lightsaber. So he just toys with him. He just dances around him and makes him look like the kid and the fool that he is.
But it's kind of, I guess he was a projection. He wasn't a Force ghost. So
Yeah,
that
it's a
was-
projection.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
So he distracts him while they escape. And you think, oh shit, now he's going to die. He's going to kill himself like Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then I think, oh shit, okay, that sucks.
Totally what I thought. Yep.
Yeah. And then obviously he realizes he's just a figment and he just disappears. And you're like, awesome.
And he was pissed off.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren was just
I like that,
salty
though.
as then on a salty
Like, because
planet.
he doesn't respect him. He's just going to show up as a projection. He doesn't respect Kylo and the way where he's gone. And he knows that. Kylo knows he doesn't respect him. And at a certain sense, that conflict there that he hates him, but he sort of wants some like respect as a Jedi, and he's just not getting it from anyone, and he's just and you can see the frustration.
He kind of reminds me of a spoilt kid.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
guy, yeah.
Which is great. I think it's
My mum and dad, they don't appreciate me.
Yeah.
My uncle's a dick. He tried to kill me. It's like,
So yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. It was disappointing, that he then goes and fades off into nothingness, becomes one with the Force, you might say,
yeah.
as far as we can tell.
See, my wife said she loved that part. She liked that he got them away. He got the rest of the rebels gone, but I don't know. I was kind of like, I don't know. He could have. I don't know. Why did he have to be one with the Force then? Why didn't he go back and meet up with them and do a bigger part and help the rebels again? Rebuild.
Yeah, again,
Yeah.
it's that continued feeling of like, damn, he's not there. Oh, he's so powerful, but he's back. He's on our side.
Yep.
I can't wait to see what he's gonna do.
Gone.
There
Wait
was a lot of that anticlimax build-ups that just slammed you, and you were like, fuck.
I don't know if it's poor writing or it's just,
No, it's all
I don't know.
intentional.
It's all intentional, you reckon?
Yeah. It's not
I mean,
poor.
so-
it might be poor writing as a whole. Like that's not the direction that I guess.
The arc.
Yeah, the overall we would really like it to go, but we don't get to write these movies, and unfortunately,
I don't know why.
yeah. I mean, unfortunately, it just seems like that's what's going to happen, and sure, like I wanted more Luke. Like in a certain sense, I'm not
just laughing at Scuba. He's just
Yeah.
like, oh, we need another laser sword battle. Just playing off your comment before, Buff.
at a certain
Stay out of my channel, Scuba.
So, at a certain point, I'm not done with all these old characters, and they're forcing it upon us, right? I like the new characters, but I'm not necessarily done. And for Leia to
ready.
be the character of all characters to still be in it is disappointing
Come
because
on.
she is.
Yeah. She should have died this movie.
Yeah, she's great in the original trilogy, but she's obviously just the weaker of all the, like Han Solo, Luke, Chewie. Chewie had barely any role in this movie as well, by the way. It was really strange.
Yeah. Sit in a ship.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm disappointed if that's what's going to happen. And then Rey comes along and rescues them. She moves the rocks. That was cool.
I mean, that was cool. There's still this chance that Luke's alive, right?
Yeah. We're just
There's a chance that Octu was a projection.
yeah.
Projection of a projection.
that's
It's
right.
Inception right now.
As
Could
Buff
all
said,
happen.
from the legends we know that Luke is more powerful than Darth Vader. He is much more powerful, and then you sort of go, oh, but he doesn't. He turns out to be like a real uncaring, very not selfless like Jedi are supposed to be.
No, it wasn't like
He
when,
redeems his selflessness with his selflessness at the end, but then he just goes and gets rid of himself.
It's not really like how Yoda did it, where Yoda went with one
Yoda
with the
died of-
Force.
yeah.
Yeah, he died of
Yoda
old
died
age
of
kind of
old
thing.
age.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was like 700 or something.
yeah, some fucking ungodly age. So
and Kenobi gets struck down.
he does
and
it.
then Luke just middle-aged man.
Yeah,
Vanishes.
I don't
I
know.
mean, is it a thing of like he cut himself off from the Force for so long
Yeah,
that now he's flooded his body and it killed? I don't know.
I don't know. I think he chose to do this. I think this was a choice.
Well, because he sat back up and like looked up and then vanished.
yeah, I
Like,
think
from the back.
I think he intended to
accepted it.
become one with the Force.
Maybe there's some greater plan that we don't know about.
So just quickly before we wrap the story additions up, what do you think of the music?
Yeah.
It was good. It
ahead.
definitely. I don't know. I enjoyed it, but it was no original
No.
soundtrack.
I
It was
thought
kind of.
it
It
was
felt
better
a
than
bit
the Force
Disney.
Awakens.
Definitely better than that, but it still felt Disney. Like Danielle was listening to it, and I thought it was going to come into a Harry Potter song just then. Like it was, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It was still good. It still fit the scene. It wasn't. Yeah,
The visuals,
It wasn't bad.
So the visuals as well, guys. What do you reckon? Like, I love one of the greatest shots of obviously the whole movie is the crashing the Raddus through the Mega Star Destroyer.
Oh, that was amazing.
It's awesome.
yeah,
I love the scene of Yoda and Luke sitting side by side with the tree on fire.
yep,
Yeah, that
Love
was pretty
that
cool.
scene.
yep, great. The visual effects were obviously perfect. Like they setting the bar. Like, so you're not really going to turn around and go, oh, it's not good enough, because where else are you going for better visuals than Skywalker sound for sound, and then Industrial Light and Magic, which I think is Disney now.
But they do a good job. Disney know how to make things look great.
Although I think they own Industrial Light and Magic. RLM is still its own thing.
Scuba said, did his robes fall off him, or did they fade away?
They fall off and then blow off into the wind, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, he vanished and left the robes behind. Yeah.
Yeah, sort of like Obi-Wan, without being cut.
Right.
And Yoda's just disappeared, like his body just disappears.
So what do you reckon of the story altogether, now that we've basically run through the whole thing?
I think it's yet to be judged. Yep. I think it sets up 9. That's
it's disappointing when a movie doesn't stand on its own sometimes.
Agreed. As a standalone movie, I think it took all of these mysteries, these big characters, these big questions, or these big moments, and left us wanting.
Yeah.
So a story on its own, I'm disappointed, but I hope we see 9. We freak out at stuff. We come back and watch 8.
Because we've got Abrams back for 9, don't we?
And we're like, oh my, yeah, we do. We're like, oh my god, this movie is so good when you pair it with 8, right? That's my hope. If I were to give it a rating as a standalone, I mean, no Star Wars movie really falls below a 6.5. So I would probably give this one like a 7.
You give it a 7?
7.5.
This one's a 9 from me.
See, Jordan loved it.
Okay.
I talked to Jordan. He said that was amazing.
Yeah.
He said it was one of the best Star Wars films I've seen.
Yeah, probably behind Empire is my favorite. I've still only seen it once, right? Like, I've seen Empire Strikes Back an unknown amount of times. Like, I can't even tell you. But I really liked that I never knew what was going on. It was a surprise at every turn. Emily's sort of puts a bit of a rundown here. She was. I thought that genuinely nothing felt safe. No characters were saved. So storyline was obvious and nothing was expected. And it was awesome. Yeah, it was entertaining the whole time. And that's what I felt like I didn't have with Force Awakens. It wasn't entertaining the whole time. I had a few moments, but like I just didn't. And it was also hitting the same beats of the old style, so I didn't like that. What about you, Aaron? What did you think of this movie? Story altogether, just
like as a non-dedicated Star Wars fan, just seeing the films.
Yep, on its own. Yep.
I cannot stay awake through episode 1 and 2. I fall asleep, guaranteed, every time I watch them films. But I thought it was fun. It was entertaining. I enjoyed it. I thought there was the cheese that I didn't like. I was kind of like, oh, piss off. Like, did Chewie really need to have that scene with him trying to eat one of the chicken bird things? No,
it was a bit funny. Right. Yeah.
Like, they could have added more story in without them parts. I really, who's that? What's that the lady that took over from Holdo? They could have scrapped her character altogether. I don't think any of that should have happened. I think she was a useless character. They build her up and then she was nothing. She just killed herself in the end anyway.
It's a bit too left field for my liking.
So
she's in that book as well, Leia, Princess of Alderaan.
Oh, okay.
She is in that book, but also I agree with you there, though. Unnecessary.
So to me and Buff, finally, before we end this,
but no, I'm going to give it an 8.5.
8.5. All right. So you really did. Right. You enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So to me and Buff, to end this one, wrap it up. What do you think this means? How do you think this movie scored in terms of what it's done for Star Wars lore and the expansion of the overall Star Wars universe? So like what it's added and what we can take from it. Has it done more justice for the Star Wars universe? Has it closed doors, or what do you reckon?
I think it's closed as many doors as it's opened.
Okay.
If Luke's dead.
Yeah.
If Luke is actually dead, I think it's closed as many doors as it's opened, because we can't have any books about a new temple that Luke's leading as a old wise
Mm,
Jedi,
No.
but it's open to this. It's open to the same door for Rey
yeah.
in that particular.
Well, she's got the old
Instance.
Jedi scripts, so
Yeah,
she's
that's right.
Yes,
she
it's got
continue
the
it.
Journals of the Wills live on, and then I think it also has opened up a little bit more of. I think we've seen them in books before, but just kind of reminds us that it's not all only good v bad.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
I do like that. I like the in between. It's kind of like they're hanging on a thin edge. Every single one.
I guess I just hope that for what is now the new canon, book, comic book, game, what have you.
Mm,
I hope that 9 is not immediately after 8.
yeah, we have a bit of a period of like a year gap, like they generally had. They had like 3 years between The New Hope and Empire, and then 1 year between the other two. So yeah,
Because that gives us so much more room to work with for books in between,
yeah,
but also just story wise.
yeah.
Because right now there's only so many places we can go. The rebellion's basically crushed. We're flying off in a ship. Everyone's injured. We've lost all of our resources.
Yeah, we're on the Millennium Falcon. That's it. We've got the old
Yeah,
ship.
Falcon.
That's it.
That's the whole rebellion. Besides the other groups that aren't coming to help you. So I think if they do that correctly, I think we open up a nice block for a lot of good stories to be told.
That's right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some new books and hope they draw from these gaps in the movies now. Now that they've got 2 movies, they've got some gaps to work with.
Yeah.
And post this movie and pre this movie, but they don't really in this period here. We've got no gap really between these 2 movies, but now we've got some. Hopefully, they can write in some time after this one, and do a bit more with Rey and with some of the other characters as well. So yeah,
It's gonna be fun.
yep.
It looks like there's gonna be another Star Wars film next year. And,
Han Solo one,
Han
no.
Solo one, and you can be on again, Buff. We'll do that one again. It's like our year
All right.
tradition. Like we started our podcast 1 year on this day because we watched Rogue One and we did our first episode on that.
What?
So, yeah.
It's 1 year anniversary today?
Yeah, well, not exactly today. It would have been like last week or
Yeah.
something. But yeah, it's
Yeah, it's episode 49.
yeah. So
48.
it's not quite 1 year, but we've had like a couple of days, weeks off, and you know when we first
Sure.
started, we were like, yeah, we'll only do fortnights, and then we're just like, no, might as well give it a shot, do it weekly. But
And
yeah,
we've kept it up.
and we've done it since then, so it's
Yeah.
quite fun.
We'll only do Fortnite.
Yeah, and then we're
That's
just
right.
like,
Is Fortnite a widely used term there?
It actually is.
yeah,
No. Really?
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. We get
What do
paid.
you call
we
it?
get
Do you-
paid fortnightly.
Yeah. Do you call it bi-weekly? Is that what you call it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you call it bi-weekly.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Bi-weekly?
Yeah. So now we'll call it fortnight. Yeah.
I'm going to start calling it Fortnite.
Yeah,
It
it's
sounds way cool.
Nothing to do with the game.
Yeah.
Just to do with.
Nothing to do with the game.
That's
No,
right.
that isn't a plug. I'm not sponsored by Fortnite.
No, no.
All right. So thank you for jumping on,
Yeah.
Buffalo.
was-
Again,
Thanks for having me,
Check
guys.
him out. Bearded Buffalo Live
Yeah.
on Twitch.
On Twitch. I'll give him another shout out in chat. So if anyone's there, just go follow him. He's a good lad.
Yeah. Give him your follows. Most of our good friends on Twitch are already following the Buffalo. Jump in his chat, talk Star Wars with him, subscribe to him, and share the love, everybody.
Yeah.
Feel free to follow
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Follow
subscribe
away.
and follow. Yeah.
Hang
The
out.
free version.
Yeah. You don't know.
You don't have to give us money.
But yeah, so it's great to have you on, and we'll definitely we've got to have you on again to talk about.
Look at this. This is the Star Wars notes.
Oh fuck yes, we'll have
You
to have you
man.
on again
I
to
mean, a bunch-
talk about
I've been
some
making notes, boys.
some Twitch stuff. We'll just maybe do an episode.
Yeah, we
on
might do
some
an episode on Twitch and stuff like that. And
streaming and being and growing your channel.
yeah. So
I-
the struggles
I
of
mean-
the grind at the beginning.
That's right.
Yeah.
That grind.
We could also do a stream if you want to do a Star Wars thing 6 months from now, as we're like waiting for another one. We could do a podcast about
Yeah.
what we would like this special new trilogy to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder if they'll have more announcements. 6 months time. Hopefully they've got a little bit more information for us. Ryan Johnson's got a bit more going.
All Ryan Johnson's told us so far is it won't be what I wanted it to be, which is anything to do with the Old Republic.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Okay.
All right.
Sonic came right at the end.
Yeah,
You know
everyone
what?
shows
You
up at
missed
the
out,
end.
mate. Get out of here.
Yeah. Bloody Sonic.
All right.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's been a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys inviting me in, and
Oh, it's good. We're happy to have you here.
Yeah, man.
We've been talking for ages. Like, we've got to get Buffalo on a
Yeah.
podcast episode. We've got to get him in. You're our first overseas person, to be
Yeah,
honest. Like,
first
first
overseas.
international.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So we've always had like a mate just come along and sit on the couch next to us. But
Now we
this
can-
time we've done our first webcam only kind of stream with another person. It worked well.
Yeah.
I feel like it was went good.
It's good. So
I've had it up. It looks like it's looking beautiful.
yeah.
That's good. Well, anyway, don't
So-
forget.
Months from now, my beard will match yours. It'll be with
right.
There you go.
Because it's kind of like pubes, your beards are. It hits a point and then doesn't grow anymore. It just kind of stays there.
You got to
Yours does.
All beards. Mine's been sitting here for so long at this point, and I'm just like, it's not growing anymore.
we'll be
But yours is machine. I saw that photo underneath your Twitch account, man. It is monstrous.
yeah.
It's delicious.
We'll be hosting Buffalo after this ends. So when he jumps on PUBG or NHL, check him out through our channel, and then or just jump on his.
Yeah.
But we'll be hosting him through there. So have a good stream, man. Thank you for being on.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you all for jumping in chat and giving us your opinions on shit that ultimately doesn't matter. It's just a movie. But to Buffalo and I, it is life.
It's and I'm sitting there going, oh yeah, you're just rambling off names, and I'm sitting there going,
who the fuck's XRQ?
What the hell is going on?
Academy trilogy. What?
But no,
All right.
everyone's saying, get that chicken dinner, son.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, guys.
We'll see you out there.
See you later.
See you. Thanks for watching.
Bye.